technology can take as many as 3 to 4 years, whereas in a fully synthetic library system, the developmental phase is drastically reduced to about 6 months to just a year or so. So, not just the time taken for the development, but the enormous cost reduction because of the lack of any large scale farms that are required and everything. It will make the development of antibodies very affordable. And newer technologies like mutagenesis, etc., with a single lead molecule, we can develop multiple other combinations and other mutagenic peptides that can react with rapidly changing proteins. Like, for example, the SARS-CoV infections, we see a lot of mutagenesis being happening and a lot of new variants coming up. Development of antibodies to such variants is very quicker if we have a synthetic platform technology. We are just in a proof of concept stage. We have already finished establishing our library. We have started a few targets that we have already proposed to Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the big grant which is the DBT is giving out. So we have already applied and we have been shortlisted to that. So it's just in the proof of concept stage for now. The going commercial will take us just about a year or so. It should not be longer than a year. In terms of pricing, currently we are funded mainly through angel investors. But in order to go to a market stage, we will need in terms of about 50 lakhs to a crore rupees. AICCCMB has been a very, very good support for us. We have started just as one person without any kind of instrumentation. With just the ideas that we had, we were now at a stage where we are able to identify targets and generate antibodies against targets. So the CCMB, in terms of their support, not just instruments but also the intellectual support they have given us, has been tremendous.
Hello, good afternoon. I am Srinivas Rao, CEO at T-Hub. It's been a pleasure and privilege to work with the My Startup TV team on several events, community events, supporting our startups, giving them visibility and exposure. As we all know, My Startup TV is the world's first OTT channel exclusively focused on startups and entrepreneurs. And I'd like to take this opportunity to wish them all the best in their future endeavors and also assure them of our continued support in what they are doing. So good luck and Godspeed. Thank you.
We are a medtech company located in industrial area Opal. We were incubated in AICCCMB till about a year and a half ago. And we make ultra pure water units for kidney dialysis as well as laboratory research purposes. We were awarded with a national award in 2020 and we are now expanding our product offerings into the laboratory water segment, solar manufacturing, semiconductor industry and so on. Yeah, we have about a crore and a half fund plus of revenues from sales to hospitals, kidney dialysis centers and laboratories. So the next step in our company's evolution is to scale up this technology from a manufacturing perspective. So we're looking for follow-up funding, Series A funding at this point. We started our journey at AICCCMB in October 2018. Once we got funding from BIRAC through the BIG scheme. So AICCCMB has been very helpful in terms of connecting future customers, science validation, quality analysis using our HPLC systems in AIC and so on. So I can probably safely say that AIC CCMB is responsible for accelerating our growth at a critical phase of our development life cycle. Thank you.
Neuronics, we are building 10 minutes blood diagnostic platform wherein you can just put 2 drops of blood right from your finger, and then we give you analysis in less than 10 minutes. So at the end, if you actually look at all the primary health centers, the way diagnosis is done today, it takes more than 24 hours to get you basic tests like CBC and peripheral smear. We want to change the way this particular diagnostic is done, and we want to bring a new shift in primary diagnostics, wherein if a patient comes into the clinic, they do not have to step out of the clinic. Right at the clinic, their diagnosis can be done, and the doctors can treat them more confidently. So we are at the, I would say, pre-commercialization. We are already at clinical trial stage at AIIMS New Delhi, and we have already got our patent granted. And hopefully by next year we would be in the market. So we won Amazon Sambhav Top 5 Award, and we were also the winners of ScaleX IIIT Delhi. I think it's one of the most important associations that we have till now. It's a beautiful relation. I mean, I can't just describe it in words, because there are people who support you right from the technology to, in getting people who can help you with, say, certification. So we are exploring all those. Apart from the money, there's a lot of things that goes with CCMB.
We are here incubated with AIC CCMB from the past 3-4 months, and we are working on developing recombinant proteins and therapeutics, which based on a bacterial expression system, where we are mostly concentrated on developing glycosylated proteins, which is hard to find in bacterial system. So we are developing a system, a bacterial recombinant system, where we are developing hyaluronidase protein, which is very much important for various applications in chemotherapy, ophthalmology and all those things. But currently it is major production is from animal derived protein. Only one recombinant protein from CHO cells is being produced, but we are planning to develop this in bacterial system, where we can decrease the cost effectiveness. We are in the POC stage. Yes. We need an investment of 50 lakhs to 1 crore. And it will take around 1 year to 1.5 years to make it to the market. Currently, we have only Startup India recognition, and just now we started. So we are expecting a few grants from these things. So we are applying, but not yet. We didn't receive anything till now.
we are working on a product called Tripada, which is a three-way communication platform for the autistic kids, those who cannot communicate. So our device will take the vocal cord vibrations into consideration and a lot of other parameters, and in real time these will be analyzed and given to a visual board for a parent or teacher to communicate in a better way. So this is what we are working on, and our product is in stage 2 right now, and we are going to test and validate across India, US and Canada right now. So far we have done almost 220, which is not a small sample, although, and we are going globally right now. 1.5 years, because we do have a parallel business plan to come up with some revenues with the platform that we are separately bringing up for the autism parents and kids, which is like an e-commerce platform for them. So simultaneously the revenues will kickstart during this, the whole journey before we go into the market. So we are trying to raise almost 4 to 5 million within a time span of 8 months. So we were the first set of startups that we started here, and the support given by CCMB is tremendous, and now we are here because of CCMB, right? And hope to see this further support from CCMB as well. Thank you.
Welcome to the Thought Leaders Show. I'm Major Sunil Shetty. The bilateral trade between India and the US is based on shared values and interest. There are growing and emerging opportunities for businesses on both sides. There are organizations that are helping bridge the businesses in both the countries through their various programs. One such organization is the Fairfax County Economic Development Authority. To get an insight into work undertaken by the county, I have with me Juhi, who's the International Director Investments, who's also visiting India. Welcome Juhi, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Major Shetty. Thank you so much for having me.
So, tell me, how has been the travel and how has been your visit to India so far?
Well, it's always a pleasure to come back home is how I think of it. I've grown up here, so this is always going to be home for me, so always a pleasure to be in India. I started my trip in Delhi with quite a few meetings. This is my second stop in Hyderabad, and I'm headed to Pune after this. So hectic, but it's fulfilling, and I'm happy to be here.
And you're on a very important mission, isn't it?
That is correct. As always, doing outreach for Fairfax County, Virginia.
So, for people who don't know much about the county, how do you define it? What do you say is important about the county that attracts businesses and entrepreneurs to your county?
Sure. So Fairfax County is a county in Northern Virginia, the state of Virginia, one of the 50 states of the United States, and Northern Virginia has close proximity to Washington, D.C. So Fairfax County has a very strategic location for business and for living. Which is one of its biggest appeals, I should say. In terms of a county in Virginia, it is the largest by population with a little over 1 million people. Not very large by Indian standards, but large nevertheless.
Nevertheless, yes.
Nevertheless, and it is also home to Tysons, which is the largest business district in the county. And why I mentioned Tysons is that you'll find a number of corporate headquarters located in that business district. So the appeal of the location is the proximity to Washington, D.C., which is the nation's capital and is also the largest customer in the world. At the same time, the business community and ecosystem and digital and physical infrastructure make it a desirable location to expand to and to grow as an organization.
Also, it is called as one of the best livable place for tech companies, isn't it?
That is correct. We did have actually an article published about what makes Fairfax County livable. And I'm also a Fairfax County resident. So not only do I work with businesses there, and we have many testimonials from businesses that have succeeded in Fairfax County, but also as a resident, I think there is an exceptional quality of life. It's a great place to grow your family. There are a number of amenities available, and there's a lot of diversity in people, and it's a highly educated population. So all things that maybe Hyderabad can relate to as well in terms of being a location that is appealing to people from all walks of life.
Somehow, somewhere I kind of relate and connect with Fairfax being an Hyderabadi, which is Hyderabad was not known for, few years ago, was not on the map of investors, or business community. Today, it is there. It's an emerging, business center, startup hub. Similarly, when you talk about US, people in India do know about Silicon Valley. Is my understanding right? It's kind of now people are understanding, though it has been doing the right things, but people are start hearing about it now.
Certainly, and our organization is working very hard to make that happen in terms of getting our word out there and enhancing our branding and our messaging. So we are very well known in our region as pioneers in both economic development as well as business investment. I told you about the corporate headquarters. So fun fact that I'd like to share, in the DC metro area, which is the area that we belong to, there are 16 Fortune 500 companies. 9 of those 16 companies are in Fairfax County. So when it comes to our region, we're very well known, and we're seen as leaders for the region. Internationally, we may be a little less known, and at least the Fairfax EDA India team has done a lot over the last 6 years to change that, and we're only feeling bullish and positive about it.
So apart from the geography that is there, and also know that there are 3 major ports which are close to the county, what does the county offer to businesses, and in particular to Indian businesses?
Certainly, Major. So Fairfax County, our organization, which I would like to give a little introduction to what we do, our singular mission is to attract and retain business investment into Fairfax County. So this outreach that we're doing, the branding that I was talking about, is just one aspect of what we do. So Fairfax County EDA, or FCEDA, is an independent agency of the local government. And not only are we the marketing arm for business for the county, we also provide a range of services, all free and confidential, to businesses everywhere, including our resident businesses, to help them either expand or grow in Fairfax County. So when you talk about support, the single best support is the ecosystem and potential that we offer as a region with the companies, the big name tech companies that are already there, which are not only potential customers for other companies, but potential partners. So I'll give you an example. So AWS, Amazon Web Services, has been headquartered in Fairfax County since 2015. AWS, as you know, they offer cloud services. So AWS partners find it appealing to be located near AWS. So the ecosystem itself is the biggest incentive that we offer businesses. But to add to that, as an agency in support of our mission to attract and retain business investment, we offer, I like to call it 4 buckets or 5 buckets of services for businesses, and they vary depending on what stage you're in, whether you're a company just exploring where do you want to expand in the United States, or a company that has made the decision and would like to get plugged into the business community, or you're a seasoned company, you've been in Fairfax for 10 years and you're looking to grow. So we have something for everyone. Yeah. When it comes to new businesses, let's say you asked particularly about Indian companies. We often think of ourselves as the first point of contact to gather valid and reliable information to make your business decision. We want, of course, companies to invest in Fairfax County, to open up an office in Fairfax County and hire local people. But we also know that in order to do that, we need to make the right case, and it should work for the company. So we put our efforts in gathering market intelligence and presenting it to companies so that they can make an educated and informed decision about where they want to locate. We even go so far as to comparing ourselves. We can compare the state of Virginia in terms of taxes, cost of doing business, cost of employment, to, let's say, California. And then the company can decide, which one is better for them, their budget, what their needs are. That part is left to the company, but this is a huge benefit for them to get the information that they seek from a reliable source.
Correct.
So that's as far as new companies are concerned. And then when the company, let's say, chooses to come to Fairfax and they're looking to expand, one of the biggest concerns for any company is business development. How do we grow our business? How do we get known in this community? We do a lot of plugging in soft business landing services for those companies, introducing them to local chambers of commerce, telling them about events where they will find it beneficial to network, as and when required, making introductions so that the company eases into the business community. So those are some of the things.
So does it also include, because when you talk about US as a business destination, one of the federal business is one of the big things, right? Big areas. So how can Indian businesses benefit from, through your organization to get that connect when they're competing with the local businesses?
Sure, and Major Shetty, you said competing with, and I look at it differently. I look at it as technology begets technology. So emerging tech companies are the precursor to more emerging tech companies coming into the community. And the reason for that is that it offers the potential for partnerships. What you're calling competition, I'm calling as a potential to collaborate. Because there are different companies with different kinds of expertise, and they often find complementary services from another company in the same ecosystem, and together they're stronger. So we feel that the reason that our business community is so robust is because of that. The reason we are home to so many tech companies is from the time of AOL, when they decided to move to this region in the 80s, and look where we are now. So the companies tend to follow where there is potential, where there is opportunity, and we believe that we offer that.
So for any new company, especially when the foreign company trying to relocate or open new offices in a new place, there's cost involved, right? And even the size of investment becomes important. Is there any parameters or a base investment that you as a county want investors to come with, businesses to come with, and what kind of support do you provide? Because there is a cost. Is there a cost for your service?
So I'll take that one at a time. In terms of size of investment, we are completely agnostic. We don't care that the investment is a few $100,000 to a few $100 million. We welcome one and all. The kind of services that we provide are similar regardless of the size of investment. So in terms of the support provided, if you're looking at incentives in particular, because we're in the state of Virginia companies, once they're Virginia companies, have access to a number of those incentives that are available from the state. And we work very closely with our colleagues at Virginia Economic Development Partnership in order to bring relevant incentives to companies based on their size and type of investment. When it comes to smaller companies, they're looking to start lean. They say, we're not ready to have an office. We would, like to maybe have a co-working space. That's where our market intelligence and our data fact sheets come into the picture. We give them a list of alternate office spaces. You don't have to lease. You can take up this office with basic services, and as you grow, you can look to add services to that, or when you're ready, move on to leasing your own office. And when they are ready to lease, we actually do a search for them free of cost. You asked about, is there a cost?
Yeah.
There is no cost. That's one of the things that we take a lot of pride in. All of our services are free, and all of our services are universal in the sense that we don't discriminate based on size of investment.
That's really nice to know that. So one of the things that I found in my research was you have not changed, Fairfax County has not changed the income taxes for many years now. That's a big advantage, isn't it? And the certainty, is that something going to be there for long?
So, well, nobody can predict the future, but I will say this, and I'd just like to make a clarification. The tax is the state income tax. In the US, you have 3 levels, right? There's federal tax, there's state tax, and in many cases a jurisdiction or county tax as well. And we have all three of those. So Virginia has not changed its corporate income tax since 1972, if my statistics are correct, and that has remained constant at 6%. In fact, if you look at the state of Virginia, a very recent accolade for us is that Site Selector magazine called it the #1 state for business, for business location. So we're very proud. We're also the top 5 states for ease of doing business. Like I said, I cannot predict whether it's going to be the same, but the fact that it hasn't changed since 1972 speaks volumes in itself. I think the more important thing is, and I can speak to Fairfax County, is that we have a very stable government, and that's important for a business as well. You're here in Hyderabad, we see regime changes in India. They do impact business and the bureaucracy of business. We have a very bipartisan board of supervisors that oversees the work of the county. And I'm saying bipartisan for a reason, that the government still remains stable and always in support of business. So this is why Virginia has its rankings as well, and we benefit from it too.
So is there any sector that, as Fairfax County, you're interested in, or they're sector agnostic when you're looking at businesses or investors to come into the county? And are there any specific areas you are looking from Indian businesses to come and set up shop?
Yes, absolutely. And one of the reasons India is one of our key target markets is because we see a lot of synergy between what Indian businesses, tech businesses are doing, and what we have in Fairfax County as well. So when you talk about industries, information and communications technology is high up there for us. We are a very strong sector. We have 8,800 technology companies in Fairfax County. Cybersecurity is a very, very big cluster for us. In addition to that, emerging technologies, analytics, smart city technologies, IoT, artificial intelligence, drone technologies, space, aerospace and defense is a big sector for us, and life sciences. More specifically within life sciences, health IT is a big and upcoming sector for us. So that's where our focus lies. So you'll see that the common theme tends to be technology. And India is very strong in technology as well, which is why we come here and we frequent our visits to India and our outreach to India, because we think that Indian companies have a lot to gain. They have a lot of potential if they choose to locate in Fairfax County. I have to mention something that kind of spans these industries or these skill sets that I just talked about, and that is government contracting. That's another area which is very strong for us. Fairfax County companies enjoy a good portion of federal contract dollars that come to our businesses, and that's definitely a strength for us. You were asking me earlier about working with the federal government. So here is where partnerships are key, because as a foreign company, it's not easy to do business with the US federal government. It's nearly impossible. But if you do have a local partner, it starts to make sense both for them and for you. So those are some of the areas that we try to focus on. We're more focused on the knowledge and technology-based businesses, IT products. We have a number of IT services companies as well, but product companies are those that will benefit the most from coming to Fairfax County. But it's not like we screen people. Everyone is welcome.
So the other thing that I want to bring here is India is, post-COVID, India is seen as the pharmacy of the world, right? And we are sitting in Hyderabad. This is within India. This is the hub for biotechnology and pharmacy. Is there any interest, to have collaborations, both in terms of investments, companies setting up shop in your county, in the biotechnology space, pharmacy, biotechnology?
Absolutely, biotechnology more than pharmacy. But since you brought it up, I'm so proud to say this, that we are in Hyderabad, and one of the biggest pharma companies here is Granules. Granules India Limited, which we had the good fortune of touring yesterday. We toured their Gagilapalli facility, which is the largest in the country. And I'm so pleased to say that Granules has only one manufacturing operation outside of India, and that is in Chantilly, Virginia, which is in Fairfax County. So, yes, the fact that Granules chose to come to Fairfax is a testament to that industry. But I will say that we have more room for biotech companies, research and development in pharma and biotech rather than manufacturing, right? So we have a lot of potential there because of the presence of many higher education institutions in our vicinity, which offer you that pipeline of talent and research faculty that you might need to collaborate with, as well as the ecosystem. We are in close proximity to DC, but then Virginia, other places in Virginia and West Virginia where there are pharmaceutical companies, as well as Maryland, which has a big life sciences hub. So it makes sense for companies in that industry.
So in the initiative, is there anything for collaborating between Indian talent and county talent when it comes to biotechnology and other spaces? Why I ask this, Indian students have been one of the big, economy and who've been coming to the US. So Hyderabad has multiple organizations like CCMB, NIPER, where the talent is there for biotechnology. So is there a thought, or going forward there could be a possibility of talent exchange, collaboration at the university level, schools levels?
It sounds like a very fantastic idea, because again it's about synergies, but when it comes to making that collaboration, I would leave it to the universities on either side. And we'll be happy to get them together across the table to have that discussion, but it's really at their discretion. This is not something we can facilitate because the universities have their own mandates and their own processes, so we leave it to them, but it's a wonderful idea.
So now My Startup TV is a channel for startups, and I have to ask this question. So what can Indian startups expect from Fairfax County in terms of support? Is there anything that you are rolling out for startups?
So like I mentioned before, we are agnostic of any and every company. We support companies with what they need based on what we can provide them, regardless of how big or small they are. When it comes to startups, I just said a little while ago that companies want to start lean. They may be a 1 or 2 person operation to start with. What I do feel is that getting that, in Indian language it would be domicile, getting that legal entity in, let's say, Virginia already becomes a benefit. It's not a difficult process, but once you do choose to expand, you get access to a lot of resources that are available to domicile companies like Virginia companies. So while we don't offer these from our side, we connect our startups to a number of grants and funding opportunities that are available in our ecosystem. I'll give you an example. The Virginia Innovation Partnership Corporation, it's a state-funded entity, and they fund businesses. They provide gap funding from idea stage to commercialization and then moving forward. So those are the opportunities you can only avail of if you are a Virginia business, right? So having the startup set up operations is perhaps not a difficult job, but we are more than happy to do hand-holding once they're there to introduce them to these opportunities where they can get funding from venture capitalists to angels to traditional funding from banks, and the whole gamut, so to speak.
And what do you have to say for people who would say expensive city to be in or country to be in?
So I guess expensive is a relative term. When you look at the total sum of the quality of life, the amount of opportunity, and the income potential in Fairfax County, it just makes sense. I mean, Hyderabad is not a cheap place. Delhi is not a cheap place. So the reasons for that are obvious. People there, yes, you may say it's expensive, but then their earnings are commensurate with those expenses, right? So it all goes hand in hand. I told you I'm a Fairfax County resident, right? So I have 2 kids, and they went through the public school system. One is still in school, which, as you know, because you have experience here, public schools are free in the United States. And Fairfax County Public Schools is a nationally ranked school system. The number 1 STEM school in the United States is in Fairfax County. It's the Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology, and it's a public school. They have state-of-the-art labs, and all their amenities are free because it's run by the government. So when you look at what there is that the county has to offer its residents, whether it's the schooling, like I said, the access to higher education institutions, recreation, right? Whether you're talking about parks or
The infrastructure.
Yeah, the gardens, you're talking about museums, you're talking about cultural exposure, you're talking about diversity. It literally, we actually have a saying that Fairfax County has it all. And so it completely justifies the cost of living in the county.
Finally, you have offices globally. There is one office for you in Bangalore also. Any scope in future to have a permanent office in Hyderabad?
So our offices are by country, and we chose Bangalore because it's a tech hub of India, and it made most sense for us. In fact, we have small operations in Mumbai as well, but the focus remains Bangalore. The point is that the Bangalore office is not just to cater to Bangalore companies. So the whole point of having a local person from Fairfax County EDA in India is so that they can serve the whole market. So they're not restricted to Bangalore companies. We have 4 other overseas offices. Our office for Europe is in Berlin, in Germany, but they handle all of Europe. Our office for the UK is in London. Our office for Asia is in South Korea, but they handle all of Asia. So we have to be mindful of maintaining, the cost impact of having these offices, and at the same time maximizing our services and outreach. So there isn't a firm plan in the near future, but if we see an influx of investment coming from India, who knows, Hyderabad might be the next place to be. We know it's happening already.
Well, we wish you all the best. Thank you, Juhi. Thank you for being on our show.
Thank you, Major Shetty. It's been an awesome pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Wing Commander Anish. I'm the Chief Delivery Officer for T-Hub, and we have partnered with My Startup TV OTT to showcase startup news, views, and events from T-Hub. My Startup TV is the world's first OTT platform dedicated to startups and entrepreneurs. So do check out and follow T-Hub OTT channel only on My Startup TV OTT platform.
Avishkaran, the Bionest of Nipur. Hyderabad was inaugurated on the 16th Foundation Day of Nipur. On the sidelines of the event, My Startup TV spoke to founders of startups incubated at Avishkaran Bionest.
Hello everyone, I am Akanksha K from Nipur, Hyderabad, student of MS Pharm, Medicinal Chemistry, first year. I want to put one quote first. Avashyakta Avishkar ki janani hai, right? So this quote really bringing innovations forward. We all are aware that cleaning and dusting cleans the object, right? But cleaning means that dust will harm us. So on the solution of this question, we have made a diamond broom. The name itself suggests diamond broom. Diamond means inverted umbrella. It will we can fix it on the rod so that while cleaning or dusting, we can collect the dust before it reaches us to harm. Our product is sustainable, customizable and multi-purpose, so that we can use any extensions for it, right? Like mopping, then wipers we can attach, and everything, the rod and every toolings available, these all are sustainable, so environment friendly. We are using the rod of steel, then extension that is diamond shape inverted umbrella of cloth, so that it can be clean easily, and then the broom from broom comb, which is naturally available, so the whole product is sustainable and environment friendly. We are also try to cover the paint brushes making industry. We all know while painting, the drops of paints, everything will fall on ground, and it is very tough job to clean it. So it's better to just collect it on the umbrella, so that we cannot go through all that problems. So now only no need to buy multiple tools for cleaning. Only take one set, use it for every purposes in effective prices, and we will be covering whole broomstick market, and probably the paint brushes making industries also. Thank you so much.
Welcome viewers, welcome to My Startup TV Founder Talk Show. We are at the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship at IIITH. We are here to talk to two founders who are incubated at the IIITH. Their startup is into it's called Deep Facts, and it is into medtech. The founders are Vamshi Karatam and Janardhan Sulkara. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
So let's start by understanding what is medtech all about, or a deep fact all about.
So deep facts is all about, most of the time cardiovascular patients or the cardiovascular events happen due to untimely intervention of the medical support. Yeah. So deep facts take care of multivital parameter device. It provides to the subjects, and so that if there is any event, immediately our command center will alert the attendant or the doctor, and as well as to the subjects, to take in timely intervention to save the subject from the medical any kind of uneven events.
So how do you monitor? Mm-hmm. How do you monitor your subjects that they are going through anomaly when it comes to health stats?
We have developed a multi-vital parameter monitoring device that will capture more than 16 vital parameters. For phase 1, we are giving 5 vital parameters, which is dealt by WHO. That is ECG, BP, temperature, heart rate, and SpO2. The another USP is it will give abnormality alerts whenever it is required. While in one line, we are giving this platform for affordable and accessible care for everyone.
So do you have to wear this device?
Yes, we have to wear this on chest.
Vamshi,
yeah.
Today the way the iPhone, the phones, smartphones are kind of morphing. They are as good as becoming in some ways a device that checks parameters, health parameters, or keeps a track of it. Right from how many kilometers you've walked in a day to SpO2, ECG, you can do it. So with that kind of thing, when you see smartphones kind of getting into that segment as well, the medtech state, where do you fit in?
See, coming to the Apple iWatch or the Samsung Watch or anyone, that's towards a fitness wearable, comes under that sector. Ours is more towards a medical grade, and here our device controls the pressures. See, normally whenever we wear it on the wrist, the wearable, it's controlled by us. So I can lose my watch, or I can tighten my watch. So these sensors mostly work on the pressure. So how far the sensor is from the skin.
Yeah. You can manipulate with the wearable watches.
So there's a chance of the accuracy can be changed. In our case, what we do is when we put it on the chest, the adhesives and everything is controlled by us. The design is as per at what pressure or at what difference or the distance the sensor need to be there is controlled by our engineers, and we control that. So that's the main difference. One is that the accuracy will be increased because of this. Yeah, and we don't see it's more towards a medical grade, not towards the fitness grade.
I understand. Last night actually there was a medical emergency, and then I was going through it, and both of these devices were in play, where the iWatch and the SP2 monitor, and you could see the difference, because the watch requires you to keep your hand stable at a particular place, and as you said, where does it connect and all that. my question I was coming to was the way the smartphones or the smart devices coming up. It's only a matter of time where they would catch up with something what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Because you can see what happened with iPhones when they started. They never had any of these components, but now today there's iWatch which does that, phone does it, and you were saying it is for the medical purpose, like medical grade.
Yeah.
So, is it right to assume that your device would be used by somebody who has a problem vis-a-vis somebody who's fit? Because why would I wear it on my chest if I have no problem? I'm just kind of...
That's true. You're right. I agree with you. See, it is mostly used for the elderly care, or the one who is having a cardiovascular history, or is a family history of cardiovascular. They can use it more of the time than the normal fit people. So it's like, see, in India, more of the things happen. I mean, this is like the people are not proactive in the Indian scenarios. Then whenever there is an event, then only they get active, and then they think about having this kind of a devices or looking for this kind of a devices. But here the elderly care and the cardiovascular patients is the right sector what we are targeting at this time, and not for only for the fitness or the people.
And one more thing is, we can use it as a household device, like BP apparatus and non-invasive glucose monitors. We are giving 5 key vital parameters. Anyone can use this for the general checkup. Kind of, if there is an abnormality, then you can go to your physician. You can use it as a general household device also.
That definitely that makes a lot of application kind of complete changes and makes it more. I think if not hard, definitely there are probably a family has one person who's suffering from diabetes.
Yes, there is a wide use cases. We are focusing on phase.
Yeah, that's true.
So currently you have a prototype in place, and are there subjects who are using this? And if yes, what kind of impact or what kind of results have you found?
See, our stage is not at the prototype, but we moved from the prototype to MVP, and we are going for a beta trials at this time with another around 100 devices. We are going to launch a beta version to the elderly care and to the cardiovascular patients. And coming to this, the accuracy of the device, we are standing from 90 to 95%. Comparing with the standalone the ECG devices and the BP apparatus, whatever available in the market.
And sorry to interrupt you. One proud thing is it's completely make in India device, chip and enclosure, everything.
That's remarkable. We want to hear more of those.
That's true.
Make in India, and for India, for the world. Make in India, but for the
world.
For the world. As a startup. Okay, out of you, anyone who's a medical practitioner, any doctor? No. So how did you come up with this whole thought?
We both are mechanical engineers.
Okay, wow, mechanical engineers venturing into something to do with engineers, right? They don't do engineering. I mean, they do engineering and they get into something else altogether, right? And I think there is definitely an affinity between engineers and medical profession.
Yes, agree. Yeah. See, most of these devices or most of this medical equipment available in the market are done by engineers with the support of the
inputs
doctors,
from the doctors,
researchers.
Yes.
That's how we have developed this device. We have around 14 doctors on board as an advisor.
We are just executors. The domain expertise all are doctors. Without them, we can't do anything.
No, I
in this
understand,
medical
because they
sector.
bring subject matter expertise,
yes.
you bring the technical know-how.
Correct.
So, one is to say that, there is an anomaly and that gets triggered. It goes to a command center, and then somebody has a problem. What next after that? Do you have a solution after that?
Yes.
Because that is where the criticality comes in, right?
Exactly. See, what we do is we identify the problem, we provide the solution. So in the command center, based on the data availability from the subject, if there is, in the command center, we are going to maintain some medical practitioners, like maybe the MBBS or ambulatory care, the basic ones who can identify and say this is a problem. So if required, we provide the ambulance service to reach their home and get them directly to the hospital.
It's a problem. It's a problem finder and solution provider.
So the problem is to find if there is an anomaly and then get them to the nearest hospital where they can be treated.
If you are identifying the problem, after that we need some action from our end.
True. So, are you raising fund, and if yes, what kind of funds you're looking for and what that would be used for?
See, so till now what we have done was we bootstrap from everything.
Friends and family.
And we raised a little bit from friends and family, and few doctors invested into this into the company, and we are looking for nearly 2 million USD to scale it up in the bigger way. And before that, we want to raise it in trenches, not immediately. We don't need a 2 million, but to make sure we get the traction and scalability, we need around 1 million altogether.
Okay, tell us about your team and who. You obviously two of your founders.
Yeah.
Who else is there in your team?
So we have a strategic director in our company. His name is Shesha M. Rao. He has done he has more than 25 plus years of experience, and he is from the IT background. And he worked with Wipro, and he has done a CEO for Inside B company. He's Shesha M. Rao, and he's now he's a member of ICIA, Hyderabad Software Association, and he closely worked with us on the strategies and how to take it to the next level. He works with us, and we have good advisors from electronics. There's one Satyanarayana Garu, and he's from Osmania, and there's one by name Srinivas Murthy is from Chennai, and he's more into advisory on the electronic part of it. And we have Dr. Suresh, ABS Suresh from Continental, who gives inputs on what level we need to take the device, and on the reporting side also we get more of inputs from Dr. Suresh. And it's almost like we have 15 plus team as advisors, consultants, and some are on board.
And we have good embedded team in house. Manoj, Dilip, and Shivaram, Naimisha. We have good embedded team and software team in house.
So, to your best of knowledge, is there any other device that is or parallel product that is doing the same thing, and how do you compare to that?
So
be it India, be it abroad.
Yeah, there are some few devices, but they are particularly to one parameter or two parameters, not completely into 5 or whatever the next level 16 parameters what we are thinking. It's not into that. It's only into one parameter like ECG. We have Monitra, and we have one more called Vico Care. They are into the ECG monitoring called Holter monitoring, and we have BPL also. Is more into just particularly concentrating on one parameter, and we are more concentrating on multi-parameter to make sure it goes into the household model.
So anything, when it comes to anything wearable, right? Like you're talking about even the watch, if it is not comfortable, we will loosen it, right?
Correct.
So a device that has to be worn, people have to be really comfortable with it. What kind of attention have you paid to the the design parameters of it, the economics of it, comfort part of it? can talk about a little bit of the design and how what thought has gone into making it friendlier for somebody who's going to wear it all the time.
We have tested this MVP one with 30 females and 30 males. After that, we've done a design review. We completely concluded into small type of patch on the chest. It will completely wearable and comfortable for both men and women.
So it's going to be a patch.
Patch kind of.
Patch kind of. It's like a heart shape, which need to be placed here, and back we have an adhesives where it just need to be fixed. Obviously, coming onto the body, if any third part, I mean like kind of watch or anything, there will be a small discomfort.
Yes.
Yeah, on the day ones, but slowly it can be used to it.
Yeah.
See, our model is not to wear continuously. If required, they can use continuously. If not, they can use it on an episodic basis.
So basically what you're saying is one can wear the patch, remove it as and when they require.
That's true.
And somebody wants to wear it continuously. How does that, what happens when they take a shower? Even today with people traveling, security checks at the airport, has a thought gone to that as well?
Yeah, obviously. So ours is, at this time we are going with IP65 grade, where they can take, it's a water resistant, they can take shower and things, but in the next level what we have planned was IP67, where it can be fully waterproofed device. And
present is rain proof, not a swimming pool proof.
Yeah. Not as deep into, they can't go deep into the water. That's up to that we can take.
And then once you get into IP67,
yeah,
that should be able to do that, right?
Yes, that's true. And security checks, the airport level, it can be handled. I mean, it's
we have
doesn't make any.
We are making all certification from Central Drug Control and ISO 13485, IEC 60601.
The safety tests and everything is getting done on this. Then only it goes to the market, not immediately, but yeah, after the completion of safety, we take care of all the safeties like emissions and everything will be taken care. Then it will be moved towards the market.
So you are incubated with CIE, IITH. How has been your experience? How has the journey with them helped you in your own entrepreneurial journey when you're building the product and the business itself?
First of all, thanks to Ramesh sir.
Ramesh and Prakash sir, we need to thank them a lot because they support us a lot on providing inputs towards the pitch or how to present to the investors and everywhere. Whenever we need, we just knock their door. They're going to give us time and they.
Anything specific you can share as to how the association helped you in your design itself or product itself, or conversation with investors? If you can be specific. Yeah.
So most of the design part was done at IIT Makers Lab, where it was headed by Dr. Prakash, and they supported a lot. And we used the same designers who have Deepak and everyone to get this design done. We sat with them. It's almost spent a lot of time and energies from them, and we got it design done here itself. And coming to Ramesh sir, he supported a lot on the other part of how to take it up. Every time when we face him, he asks Vamsi, when you are going to give us the use case. So use case. Vamsi used to ask us a lot on that, and still we are because there are multiple use cases for this device. Coming up with the use case to Ramesh sir is very tough. Yeah, we're still in that process to go. Yeah, and we received Nidhi Prayas fund from IITH to support our other device. We are working, it's an R&D goes on, we don't leave the R&D part. So we are coming up with one more device for more towards the cardiovascular patients. So for that we got funding from, we got a grant from, Nidhi Prayas grant from IITH.
Actually, this is right place for startups. Previously we are working in triple bedroom flat. After that we got a lot of changes compared to working in flat and working from CA IIIT. We have Makers Lab here, and suppose we have to do such kind of devices in the design point of view, it will take more than 6 months to 1 year.
Plus investment.
And the travel efforts, more things there. In Makers Lab we are dealing with this Deepak and team. It's very comfortable and very output oriented community.
Sorry. finally, My Startup TV is a channel for entrepreneurs like you, and we cover your stories.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about us? What we do?
That's very nice. So you're going to reach us to take us to that audience, and that it may going to help us in all the ways. Yeah, not in one way. If some investor sees, they can approach us if they're interested, and if someone wants to try our device, it's going to reach them, and it's going to help us in a lot in the startups.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'm a CEO My Startup in T-Hub, and that's really nice. Whatever you are doing is a really great job.
Jayesh Ranjan sir also there in particular event in T-Hub. So what is that event with KTR?
Oh, okay, I'm not sure.
Oh, T-Hub 2.1.
Yeah.
We heard about first time in my startup TV. We said, wow, this is TV for startups.
Yes.
That's true.
It is fantastic actually.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for being on our show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yes.
Avishkaran, the bionest of Naipur. Hyderabad was inaugurated on the 16th foundation day of Naipur. On the sidelines of the event, My Startup TV spoke to founders of startups incubated at Avishkaran Bionest.
There is no drug utilization review, which is most important thing, which is lacking in the present healthcare system. That's in the pharmacy based, and we at the doctor's pharmacy we look at the drug utilization review. That is mostly important for the patient betterment, such as drug interactions between drug-drug interaction, drug-disease interaction, and drug patient. That's with drug-food interaction, which is lacking. And that should be, we should be concentrating more on that. And we being a pharmacist, that is the most important thing what we're doing with the patients. And we're doing in the form of the counseling and providing them data and checking on the patients about the compliance, whether how they're doing, and also reminding them of the refills to start a digital health. And that's for the comprehensive health care. Vision is transform the digital care. That is comprehensive to provide the delivering the care. That's a comprehensive way to the building the healthy communities. So that is my main vision. We at Doctor's Pharmacy, we look at that, we look into the patient's profile, we give them the information, we talk to them, we counsel them, we are for them. Basically, our concept is not just dispensing the medicines. We are dispensing the care. They need not go to the hospital. They can get the right care at the pharmacy itself, because that is a place where the pharmacists are the point of care for the patients. And this is we are doing it at the Doctor's Pharmacy right now. I've started a retail store a year and a half back, and we've been doing all these services in all the communities. And right now we are concentrating more on more communities to build the healthy communities, I can say. And this is through our e-commerce. And where is in the pharma sector right now, especially in the retail sector, where I'm running a retail store as well as an online pharmacy. We have right now a couple of physical stores and also online. And at this moment, and I'm running the retail store for the last 1.5 years and starting my mobile app in another 3 to 4 weeks. And which they're only concentrating on dispensing the medicines. But my concept and my vision is to dispense the care to all the communities. And whereas I'm coming up with building healthy communities, and this is in the rural as well as urban areas, for the comprehensive healthcare system, for the betterment and for overall healthcare of my patients. First of all, I would like to congratulate Avishkaran for the first cohort for the startups, and it's a wonderful journey for me as well. And this is my team, the entire team of Doctor's Pharmacy.
Dr. Manish Diwan, BBT Bairak, addresses the Avishkaran inaugural event. Listen in.
Very good afternoon to everybody, and congratulations on the 16th Foundation Day. I'm really blessed to be part of this momentous occasion with all of you. Director ma'am, Madam Secretary, and faculty, entrepreneurs. I can see some faces, old good friends who are supporting the ecosystem, investors, the Bionest incubator across the city and different dimensions. Some of the startups we could interact, spend a little bit of time, and a lot of young minds sitting at the back, the young students who are pursuing UG, PG, doctoral or postdoctoral studies. I think pharmacy institution like this, who has actually, let me put one more thing here, I would say, not many IDPL facilities would have got blessed with such an establishment. It is a great tribute to that endeavor which was set in several years ago, where now a permanent facility of educational center and a center of excellence in pharmacy, which is now prospering. So IDPL soul would be kind of blessing this endeavor because of all of you. Pharmacy is very interdisciplinary and inherently translational. So unlike many other science streams where you actually have to kind of encourage people to start looking what could be the outcome of the basic sciences outside the laboratories, how you can translate the knowledge that is generated in those research institutions and can help societal unmet needs. But pharmacy is inherently driven and sitting at the translational space, and it has a wide variety, a great expanse of different domains within the pharmacy, from pharmacology to pharmacognosy, delivering the drugs with pharmacokinetics, chemistry intertwining with with all streams, chemical synthesis to NMEs. And even after the delivery, the pharmacovigilance, it's a fairly wide spectrum. And all of you who are getting training under specific domains, right from discovery, understanding the anatomy sciences, to actually in the marketing domains, actually considering how to get integrated with the markets once the product is panned out from all the efforts. And pharmacy is one sector where it can actually contribute to many unmet needs and the emerging global challenges. We were just talking about and all of us would have experienced the last 2 years of pandemic. The health sector and the health got immense focus from non-science people, from policy makers, economists, the world at large. All the economies of both developing nations as well as developed countries, the infrastructure was all challenged just because of one pandemic. And I think we are sitting right in the center of the entire activity from this NIPER Pharmaceutical Institute, to be able to relate to those gaps and be able to contribute in that segment. We would have all heard about unicorns, and unicorn, anybody like any time when your valuation increases and breaches that 1 billion benchmark, you are entitled to be called as unicorn. That is all reflecting of the new innovation, new businesses getting set up. Biotech sector, including pharma, biopharma, we do not have much presence of in the unicorn space. There are only 4 unicorns which are from the pharma space, all in the kind of delivery space, but not in the core deep tech area. But these numbers are increasing as we all relate to. India is the third largest country of startups. So that means a lot of innovation happening. More than 65,000 startups are registered in India. We have 44 unicorns panned out last year and graduated to the unicorn status. As year has passed, so we have now reached to 107 unicorns from India. So this number is increasing, and I think this puts a focus and a scope and a potential for a place like this, Avishkaran, as an incubation center to nurture such new startups who can possibly potentially go and reach to that landmark. India's pharma sector, I was doing it just about very small amount of groundwork, but I could see that most of our pharma companies currently, their valuations are just about $4 to $5 billion. The topmost country's pharma company has a valuation of about $20 billion, which is less than 1/4 revenue of one of the major immense innovator pharma companies outside India, global pharma. So I think the very reason we don't have much higher valuation within our pharma belt is that the innovation component, we have kind of let it slip. We are not investing enough in the R&D, in the discovery and innovations, in the first-in-class discoveries. We are more into me too, best-in-class, and follow-through. I think time has come where the intensity of competition has bridged the gap of geographical boundaries. The solutions which get nurtured or developed anywhere across the globe, they get adopted and they get implemented, whether it is India's company or outside India's company. So this is a stage where innovations done here in the country would have a platform to compete and contribute not only for India but for the world. So Atmanirbhar Bharat, which has been the national drive Honorable Prime Minister ji has been pursuing, I think the Startup India, Make in India, all these national missions are platforms which have been seeded to help progress India and build that innovation quotient. And everybody is banking upon this young talent, young mind and young pool which is graduating. Honorable Secretary Ma'am shared one insight that they are already thinking in how to spur more innovative ideas to fund and support beyond the educational curriculum. So I think there is a thinking in that direction. BIREX existing enabling facilities both for funding, incubation and mentorship and the vast expanse of network that is also available to each and every single individual startup as well as industry. The Avishkaran, which was kindly inaugurated today by ma'am, that provides a nurturing ground for such innovative ideas where each one of you can actually be a dedicated entrepreneur or as a temporary or transient scouting of the activities which are happening, because that would become a center of place of network where people from across different dimensions would like to come and congregate. And beyond our I am also from a pharmacy background, so I know it's morning till late evening classes, one after another, practicals. So we hardly get enough time to look outside our classrooms or outside our peer group. But I think within the campus, when you got that opportunity, kindly utilize that. The network of incubation center within the vicinity, within Hyderabad itself or around, we have 7 BioNest incubators. And in the state we have, in the Hyderabad itself, it is close to 45 incubators as of now. So it offers an immense potential. The industry network, people would come and like to interact and spend times. IKMC is happening by IKP just at the end of this month itself. It will have a lot of footfall, a lot of people coming from across India as well as outside India. Maybe invite, interact with them, bring them over here. To BAM, I have one request that that within the pharmacy curriculum, we do master's dissertations, PhD dissertations, so to the faculty as well. So kindly encourage your students to pick up topics, if possible, that can lead to startup creation at the end. So may not be immediate, but at least that has a potential to create that. We all have within our curriculum requirement of industry visits. So visit industries, but also visit the startups. In the free time or in the breaks, if you want to spend some weeks or some time as an intern, explore startup ecosystem, try and work with them. I think the kind of knowledge and opportunity that you would get, or the perspective that you will get exposed to, that's unmatched. It's beyond a one-centric vision. And if you don't like one startup, hop over next vacation. You can always try the next one. I think the large network pool which is forthcoming to you and would become conveniently available, kindly make use of that. The one thing I wanted to also emphasize from this dais, that within the pharmacy syllabus of the young UG students, we don't have enough agility to absorb the movement in the scientific development, like genomics, molecular biology, AIML. You have started the medtech devices component. So expand wherever you find that those are the elements which would actually be the future to drive the healthcare delivery system. Kindly adopt them, and if not as a formal subject or a paper, but kindly get exposed to the students as well as to the faculty. I'm very optimistic and looking forward to the outcome of the BioNest incubator here, and we'll be happy to support that. My colleague here, Dr. Chaya, has worked very closely with the entire team, Director Ma'am, Dr. Nanduri ji, and all of you will be happy to support. And the BIREC enablement, enablement and opportunities would also become more forthcoming. At least you will get exposed to it more quicker than ever before. So good luck to everybody. Thank you very much.
Director of the NEPA, Dr. Shashi Bala Singh, bounded up the yearly programs update at NEPA. Listen in.
Namaskar and good afternoon. All the dignitaries present on the dais, off the dais. At the outset, I want to extend a very warm welcome to Ms. Aparna Ma'am, Secretary, Department of Pharmaceutical, Ministry of Chemical and Fertilizers, for accepting our invitation at a very, very short notice. And ma'am, we get inspired by your presence in this auditorium, especially the faculty and the students and the staff. Thank you, ma'am, for being with us today for very important inauguration of Avishkaram and the Foundation Day of NIPER Hyderabad. Very warm welcome to Manish Diwanji. Thank you, Head BIREC, Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology. I think we have been working with him for a long time, and it was through his mentorship and through his guidance we were able to establish this incubator center, which is Avishkaram. Thank you, and we would like that you continue your support with us, and we would like to expand it. You know, today I realize the space is very less. We need to have much more space for more incubators to be part of this Avishkaram. I think we'll be working on it. Let us see how can we expand our space. A very warm welcome to Dr. Chaya, who is a senior manager in DBT. All we have been having very, very senior people in the auditorium, DG Pharmaxil, Dr. Uday Bhaskar sir. Then we have Dr. Anand, who is CEO of Govind Holdings, Singapore, and many other dignitaries which I see from IKP, from Osman, also from the Hyderabad University Incubator Center, all my faculty members, my dear student staff. A very good afternoon. I think it's a momentous occasion for all of us. We are celebrating 16th Foundation Day of NIPER Hyderabad. NIPER Hyderabad is 15 years young. And I want to congratulate my faculty members, staff and students. I think whatever we are here today, it is because of all of you. I'm just an ambassador or maybe an interface between you and DOP. So my salutation to each one of you. It is because of you I stand here before you. You know, NIPER Hyderabad has been given a very specific mandate, which has been reiterated even today by Secretary Ma'am during our discussion with all the faculty members. We not only have to excel in education in terms of educating young minds for pharma industry ready, but also research. And we will be sort of taking her guidance, and also we'll be seeing that how do we excel in research. You know, my dream for NIPER Hyderabad is not only to put NIPER Hyderabad on national map, I want NIPER Hyderabad to be on international map. With the support of all the stakeholders, especially DOP, our BOG member, Chairperson Ma'am, and the audience, you will be happy to know that we have come second in institutional ranking framework, which is by Ministry of Education. We are in pharmacy category, NIPER Hyderabad stands second, and humbly I would also like to submit for the people who are not part of NIPER Hyderabad. You know, the first one who is Jamia Hamza, it is because they have a UG course also. Otherwise, in all probability, I think we should be number one, and we are lacking behind by out of 100.04 marks. So last year has been a very good year, very happening year for all of us in NIPER Hyderabad. We in the last almost more than a year, we were able to start 4 more disciplines. So now we offer PhD and PhD program in 12 disciplines. The newly added discipline are medical device, then natural product, pharmacoinformatics, and regulatory affairs. We have been also with the guidance and support of Department of Pharmaceuticals, especially Secretary Ma'am and Honorable Minister, we have been able to complete recruitment in 2 phases. We have regular faculty, which the first batch joined in January 2020. So before that, it was being mentored by CSIR Institute, IICT. I'm the first regular director which joined in June 2018. So with the regular faculty, which is our faculty, I can tell you, it is a globally competitive faculty, very competitive. We have been able to take them from all discipline. They have a lot of experience, not only with the Education Institute, but also most of them have done postdoctorate from outside India, and many of them were part of the industry before joining NIPER Hyderabad. Infrastructure, I think I would request all of you who are here today, you may visit NIPER Hyderabad and see the infrastructure which we have. We have very high-end equipments which have been procured in last 2 years, most of them. Then we have, with this NIPER Hyderabad, we also have a NABL accredited lab. So anyone who is interested in some of the services, we offer these services. We are offering to a lot of MSMEs, and I would request anyone else who is interested may contact NIPER Hyderabad. It is there also on the website, all the services which we offer in terms of analytical things. Then we have, in the last year, we are also developed BSL-2 facility, because we are also, one of our colleagues is working on AMR. Medical device is again a new addition to NIPER Hyderabad. This again, we started this course is in January rather 2021, not in December 2020. So this is another lab which has been established, and with the support and guidance of ma'am, we are going to have the medical testing facility also in Naipur, Hyderabad. We have been able to upgrade, renovate most of the labs because we are in IDP campus. This building is more than 70 years old, so a lot of money has been put in for renovation of these labs, and again, my thank you and support which is coming from DOP. We have smart classrooms now. We have all the lecture theaters are equipped with smart monitors. Of course, Pharma Incubator Center, you have seen with, today, you have witnessed all the incubators, their interaction with ma'am and others. So this is another thing which we have been able to accomplish in last 1 year. I really want to thank Dr. Devan and ma'am to be here with us for a very important, to my mind, it's one of the important, because these are outreach programs which really helps in to build up societal mission and help society at large. Then I also want to tell that we will be building a regular campus here. Again, all support in terms of finance support and all the regulations, all the procedures are complete, and slowly we will have a new campus here only. We have been given 50 acres of land where we are sitting now. I also want to thank Dr. Anand. I want to take this opportunity to thank him for investing in 2 of our products. Thank you. I would like you to see this growing much more because you can really support us in many other adventures. So our faculty, as I said, is mainly engaged in teaching and research. So, the dream of my faculty is to have 4 Ps. Publication, patent, product, and process. But then the directions which we get from headquarters is product and processes. So this we will be working, ma'am, I assure you from on my side and from faculty side. In years to come, we will make sure that 60% of our research is directed towards translation research. Of course, we are also engaged in consultancy services. We have a lot of industry-sponsored projects and a lot of extramural grant. Again, I want to thank all the industry partners, all the funding agencies like DBT, DST, ICMR, and DRDO, and many others. We also have a lot of skill development programs which we are running. Some of them are with Telangana government and DBT sponsored together, which are there continuously for almost 3 years they have been sanctioned. So every year we run 3 to 4 programs which are even still ongoing. Then being a research and teaching institute, we organize a lot of seminars, workshops, soft skill development for our students, and also the leadership series. This is a series where we invite some important person who has made a good mark in that area, and then he or she may not be from pharma, they can be from other specialization also, to enthuse our student and motivate them, and maybe they become their role models also. And we also get a lot of internship. People who want to come and do their internship here, not only from Hyderabad and around surrounding area, but also from other states. This time we got from Gujarat State Council, we got about 40 students who were pursuing pharma in different colleges to be part of Naipur Hyderabad for their mentorship and learning some of these pharma techniques. I think I will not say much because time is limited, ma'am has to leave. And placement is 100%, and this time the highest package which we got is 27 lakhs. I'm not saying it may not be the end, but we are incrementally progressing every year. So that gives me hope that next year it will be better. And of course our student and faculty also get a lot of honors and awards for their hard work which they put in here. I will not name all those awards. And this year we have successfully completed joint entrance examination. This is entrance examination for all the 7 NIPERs. And this responsibility was given to us by department. Then Swachhata Pakhwada, again, it's a very important, you can say, process of making Swachh Bharat, and we are also part of it. And this time, Department of Pharmaceutical has recognized our efforts and given us an award. But these are some of the things which I am highlighting. I am sure there are a lot more which I may not have said, and there's a lot more which needs to be done. I think we have miles and miles to go. I want to thank each one of you, especially my faculty, my dear students, my staff, who has been working tirelessly to make NIPER Hyderabad a better place for learning. And with this, I want to thank ma'am. Ma'am, thank you so much for being with us. It really makes us feel that we are being guided by people who can really take us forward. And thank you, Dr. Devan, and thanks everyone who is there with us. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Avishkaran, the Bionest of NIPER. Hyderabad was inaugurated on the 16th Foundation Day of NIPER. On the sidelines of the event, My Startup TV spoke to founders of startups incubated at Avishkaran Bionest.
This EDA Pharma Private Limited has been started recently in February 2022. So this EDA Pharma generally planning to start this generic APIs and oncology APIs to start with these drugs. Drugs of API bulk drugs and oncology bulk drugs along with biosimilars. So right now we don't have any clients, but we are in the research and development mode. We are developing some drugs to reduce these costings and to go with the unique mode along with the patents.
First of all, I would like to congratulate CoinSwitch Kuber for organizing this meetup here. It means a lot to us. Also, is a very strong endorsement for the fact that Hyderabad also is a very serious player in this area of emerging technology. There is an ecosystem here. The ecosystem can be cultivated, nurtured. Much bigger things potentially can happen from here. So just the fact that CoinSwitch is hosting this event here gives us lots of confidence, boosts our enthusiasm to do more in this area. I'm sure since I have literally come at the last minute, but I'm very sure that my colleague Srinivas Rao Garu, when he spoke, or when Santosh spoke, or when someone else spoke, they might have told you already about our interest, what do we do. And I have attended a few meetup events in the past as well, in which I've explained what we have been doing. First of all, what is the genesis of our interest? Why is it that the government is showing so much of interest in this area? But maybe very briefly, because I know that there has been big delay in the commencement of this meetup today, so I don't want to give any lengthy speech, but very briefly I would like to share this with you, that when Telangana as a new state was created 8 years ago, we were very determined that we will embrace all the new areas of technologies, all the emerging technologies. We will structure good programs out of it. We'll of course do that with the intention that it will benefit the government processes. It will also benefit the citizens in multiple ways. And for the last 8 years, we have been extremely successful in this objective. If you name that area of technology, and you will find, if you compare all the 28 states of our country, Telangana literally at the top in, let us say, AI adoption, blockchain adoption of robotics, drones, data analytics. You name them, cybersecurity. We are really up there, and we do it in a very methodical way. We have created a separate wing in the government. Some of my colleagues of that wing are sitting here. That wing is called the Emerging Technologies Wing. We have taken extremely talented people to work in that wing. Madam is not here today. She is not here. So the person who leads that wing unfortunately is not here, but I'm sure you would be knowing of her. So that wing actually prepares policies, frameworks, compares what is happening in the world that can be emulated in Telangana, guides us, shows the direction, and then whatever we do, I spoke about half a dozen technologies in which we are dabbling. Whatever we do, we try to do it in a very participatory, very inclusive way. So the academia will be included in our efforts. The private industry will be included in our efforts. There are some very brilliant Government of India institutions in Hyderabad. We are very fortunate in that sense. They will be included in our efforts. It's a very participatory kind of thing. Startups will be very much a part of that mix. And typically we will bring the best talent from the outside world to spearhead the initiative. So there'll be a governing council or an advisory council, which will all be led by domain experts. And that is how we have been working on. So as some of you would be aware, this is 2022. I think in 2018, we started taking deep interest in blockchain. We were very fortunate in 2018 to host an international blockchain conference here. And when we understood the trends which are shaping the blockchain world, we decided that we will also become one of the early movers. So we created a kind of an organizational structure which is called the Blockchain District. We identified partners as I spoke. We started some programs, some incubation programs, acceleration programs, use case in the government. Many of the use cases that we adopted have become national role models. We have won awards for it. In fact, I share this with lots of pride that the latest that we have done is perhaps very unique for the world itself. I don't know of more than a couple of countries where this kind of thing is practiced, which we were able to demonstrate successfully in Telangana, which is about remote voting. As you know, voting is a big issue in our country, and all kinds of things happened for voting. And we were able to very successfully demonstrate how sitting at home at a scale, I mean, this was not a demonstration with 10 voters or 20 voters. It happened in a municipal town called Khammam with 3,500 voters. And we were able to demonstrate how voting can be done. As you know, voting is a very contentious, elections is a very contentious process in our country. All kind of challenges are thrown at every point in time. But we were able to show with extreme levels of authenticity, dispelling all doubts and the typical mudslinging which happens in conventional elections, that everything can be handled using technology. And of course, blockchain played a very important role. So this is a little bit about the genesis of the work that we do in the government here. And of course, the specific interest in Web 3.0 came up just roughly about a few months ago. Actually, we were in Davos, our Minister for IT, Mr. K.T. Ramarao, myself, some of our colleagues, where we met lots of technology leaders and lots of VC champions, and many of them told that India is missing out on this Web 3.0 opportunity. We met some founders of, Indian origin founders of Web 3.0 companies which are doing enormously well. But we learned that they are either in Singapore or in Dubai. They have kind of moved away from India. And then we try to understand what is it that is pushing them out of India. And we found that most importantly, the regulatory uncertainty, like as many of you would know, I don't have to tell you about the confusion, the state of particularly related to crypto is causing. But at the same time, that confusion is impacting multiple other layers of Web 3.0, which we do not want to miss out on. So we have decided to embrace Web 3.0. In fact, when did we sign with IBF? About a couple of months ago. Then with Santosh, with Web3 community. So lots of partnerships have been signed in the last couple of months. I'm delighted that CoinSwitch is kind of showing interest. If so much of attention is being focused towards Telangana, obviously at least the path that we are taking is the right one. So one other big player is joining hands on Saturday. But a bigger announcement is happening on 2nd of December. Some of you maybe already have been invited there. Some of you may be planning to go there. A very big event is happening in Bangalore called It India. And we are using that opportunity to announce the commencement of a regulatory sandbox on Web 3.0 here in Hyderabad. For the past 2-3 months, we have been working on it. We have prepared a concept note. We shared it with lots of users. You might have got the concept note. Many of the others would have got it. Lots of people have given their feedback, their suggestions. We have made some revisions in the draft. We are close to finalizing the final version, which will be announced on 2nd December. But more than that, the consultation process helped us in identifying lots of use cases. So almost a dozen use cases have been identified. The first cohort under our regulatory sandbox, we want to introduce in mid-January for about 6 months. Every year, we want to run 2 cohorts in which we'll give you that kind of regulatory comfort. Government will also bring other regulators in the picture. That is one task which is still a work in progress. As you know, SEBI, RBI, the insurance regulatory, the insurance regulator, IRDA. Similarly, as you know, there is a National Digital Health Mission. So they are also important regulators in certain areas, telecom regulator. So lots of other regulators who are also involved in different use cases. We are trying to bring them on board, support them. I was told that someone from NPCI is also participating today. So that itself is a very plus for us, because NPCI has been using Hyderabad as an important base for all their innovation, etc. So that augurs quite well for us. So this way, we do hope that a one of its kind, the first of its kind initiative to create this regulatory sandbox will yield good results, not just for Telangana, but for the country as a whole. And this brain drain that we are seeing, we should be able to arrest. Similarly, the partnerships which T-Hub has forged over the last few months, etc., that also should give a big boost to all the local community members, founders. In fact, the last community meet that I had attended, it had lots of aspiring entrepreneurs who are kind of who have an inclination, but they were kind of testing the waters. So I'm sure many of them would have made up their minds to understand that Web 3.0 covers a range of activities, technologies, many of which are not controversial at all, and you can proceed. And internationally also, many of them have gained huge amounts of traction. So I welcome, as I said, the interest of CoinSwitch Kuber in setting up, in putting together this meetup block by block. Since Ashish is here, I would also request you that try to give some work or bring some work of yours to Hyderabad as well, while you have come in person, which is great for us. But if you can set up a small office here which looks at some of these Web 3.0 in T-Hub, of course, that will be the icing on the cake if you can put it here in T-Hub. But wherever you want to, we'll be very happy to have your footprint in Hyderabad. So good wishes to all of you. Thank you.
Gamification of social media is the new trend. Hyderabad-based gamified social media startup Denolin did a soft launch of its platform at the T-Hub. Speaking at the event, Jayesh Ranjan, Secretary of Information Technology, Government of Telangana, called on the founder to be ahead of the curve by watching the trends. Listen in.
Greetings to all the invitees, all the guests. I'm also very encouraged by the support which T-Hub colleagues have given to this startup and the kind of optimism they have about their product, their solution. I'm also very enthused to hear some of the other startups in T-Hub speaking very positively about the attitude, about the team spirit, etc. These things are very, very important, particularly at the beginning of the life cycle of any particular startup. So my congratulations to them on this point as well. If you look at social media, I think we are at a stage where some kind of course correction, some kind of transition is happening. Many years ago, when Facebook, which is now called Meta, when it started, it was believed that this will be the mother of all social media platforms. Nothing else is possible. I mean, whatever is possible is now completely conquered, completely achieved by Facebook. But we know that they are also going through tough times. In fact, I don't know whether you follow the trends or you follow the news. There is a huge decline in their subscribers base. They are losing revenues like anything. Mark Zuckerberg, who was at one point in time the second richest person in the world, has now come down, slipped down to the 20th. And there are all kinds of other things which are happening. Of course, he's betting very big on metaverse, that is, and that may happen. But other than Facebook also, if you really do a deep dive on what is exactly happening in the world of social media, why different forms of social medias are becoming much more popular. Of course, as we know, Facebook, which requires you to write long posts, etc., have that format has completely gone out of fashion. Things are more visual now. We know that Facebook has also come up with Reels, trying to regain some of that lost ground. But as we know, there are more popular ones like TikTok and Insta and all that. So there's a rapid transition going on. And I guess for Denorlin to enter into this field at this time, in a way, is also very challenging, but can also open up huge possibilities for the future. And what one of the T-Hub colleagues was mentioning, that this is one social media platform where you will be rewarded for the time that you are going to spend, which in my opinion is a very fundamental kind of thing. See, one of the reasons for the decline, and I won't be surprised if the nature that we see Facebook as today, that will be completely changed. So I won't be surprised. And one of the reasons, again, as it was pointed out, I mean, unless you have too much of time in which you can afford to be completely unproductive, there's no more value that you get out of that. So the fact that you are planning a scheme, or the way you have structured your platform, is that the more you engage with it, you get benefits, you get incentives, but you are also going to utilize metaverse, you're going to utilize emerging technologies. All that perhaps will be the differentiator between the last generation kind of social media platforms and what you are going to do. When we look at the successes of these kind of products and solutions that come in the market. So for example, when Facebook has come in the market, when WhatsApp has come in the market, we feel that they are now valued. Facebook is one of the most valued companies in the world, including WhatsApp. It has enormous number of subscribers. We feel, and our minister keeps mentioning this, that what is the rocket science behind such products and solutions? There is no great piece of engineering. There is no great piece of kind of technology. But the idea, the strength of the idea, and the way you have been able to convert that idea into reality is something which has made Facebook where it is, WhatsApp where it is. And why is it that all these innovations, all these products are coming out only from the West, from the US largely? Why is it that people in India are not able to break that barrier? So I really see these kind of initiatives, these kind of attempts also as a step forward in giving that confidence to people in India as well, that we can also be equally creative, we can also be equally far-sighted, and we also have the talent to complete the engineering and technology composition, which today people appreciate about, let us say, Facebook or a WhatsApp, keeping the design principles very simple, very user-friendly, very adaptive, and so on and so forth. So today is the day when lots of transition is happening. I mean, it's a nice coincidence that while we are launching Denorlin today, not very far from here, just about a kilometer from here at Hightex, Meta is having their developers day today. So huge gathering, close to 2,000-3,000 people have assembled there. So, but the fact is that everyone is trying to reinvent. Everyone has understood the reality. Eventually, the bottom line, there's nothing bigger reality than what your bottom line is. And I'm sure people in T-Hub and your mentors, your guides, your board members, I'm sure they are the ones who will be able to guide you properly in understanding what kind of route to follow as you make your journey ahead. So congratulations once again, and best wishes for your warm and bright future as a truly make in India product, make in Hyderabad product. I feel very proud of all of your achievements. Thank you very much.
Avishkaran, the Bionest of Naipur. Hyderabad was inaugurated on the 16th Foundation Day of Naipur. On the sidelines of the event, My Startup TV spoke to founders of startups incubated at Avishkaran Bionest.
My name is Vamshi Krishna Manuri, founder and CEO of Medcard.in, which is B2B e-commerce platform we are building up. So let me start with my experience why I have started this startup. See, there is a lot of challenge I've seen in this field of healthcare domain. I have 18 years experience in this field. So I've started my career as a salesman in chemist stores, retail chemist stores, and then I worked with wholesale distributors, pharmaceutical distributors for 8 years. Then after I've started as a professional medical representative in a few companies like Sun Pharma, Modi Pharma, a lot of MNC companies I've worked with. Then I also worked with some medical devices companies like Healthium Medtech, which we are dealing with surgical sutures and all. So seeing the entire my journey of 18 years, I have seen the challenges and pain points of the doctors and pharmacists regarding procurement. Let I tell you what the challenges I've seen in the field, that procurement process and vendor management is very highly challenging part, especially in rural areas. Since I came from rural area called Nizamabad district in Telangana, so I've seen a lot of the problem while the procurement is going on. See, especially for the equipments and refurbed equipments. Refurbed equipments is only available in metro cities like Hyderabad, Mumbai, Bangalore and all. But when it comes to rural areas, once they want to procure this refurbed equipment, there is a lot of problem to get right access, right? See, there is no any service part also, since the nursing homes and hospitals are not maintain their own biomedical team. In Hyderabad also, very few hospitals are maintaining their own biomedical team. The service part is also very a headache for the rural area hospitals. And one more challenge I've seen, especially in rural area hospitals, is that delivery part. See, not all products is available in district headquarters, right? Only available in cities like metro cities. But the delivery part, once they order into metro cities like Hyderabad, Bangalore or Mumbai, it will take 1 week to 3 months. That should depend on equipment, device or which the transportation facilities available to deliver that products to district headquarters. That's where that TAT is going on. So seeing all these challenges, I started MedCart. I've done a POC in Nizamabad district itself for the 2 years from 2020 to 2022. I've done a lot of business around 1.13 CR for the last year turnover I've did with my POC concept. There I started this MedCart. It is a complete online platform which is especially catering to B2B hospitals for the procurement process, and I am giving a complete one-stop solution for the hospitals and pharmacies. They can choose or they can procure anything from my portal, services and products, medical equipments other than pharmaceutical regular brands. Since as a startup I need some margin, so I focus on only equipments and surgical consumables. That is one part. And one more advantage I am giving to my customers is that the loans. See, every hospital needs loans for the capital equipments. That is also a headache for them. So here I am giving a hassle-free loan process for the hospitals and pharmacies. They can choose loan also through my portal. I have done a first time in India drone delivery services in rural areas. I did 70 kilometers trial run from Nizamabad to Nirmal recently, which is inaugurated by MP Aravind Garu and which is tweeted by in Twitter KTR Garu. We have delivered surgical sutures from Nizamabad to Nirmal, Dr. G.K. Prashant Hospital, which is in Nirmal district, which is 70 kilometers far away from Nizamabad to Nirmal. See, by the road it will take 2 hours. If suppose we use regular transportation, it will take 24 hours, or else typical transportation it will take 2 to 3 days. But we have delivered within 45 minutes through drone. That's what we are giving. As a MedCart, we are promising 1 hour delivery for 200 kilometer road distance of each from our each hub. See, we have 2 hubs as of now. As of now, we have a drone that can have a capability of 20 kgs. That can lift 20 kgs capacity. At a stage, it can travel 200 kilometers. At this stage, we are not costing anything to the customers for the drone deliveries. We are bearing that now. We are at 30 lakh plus revenues as of now till today. Yes, we are searching for some investors. They are interested to come, and we are incubated at SRIX Warangal. Even I got a grants from SRIX Warangal under TIDE. From Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, I got a grants of 7 lakhs, and recently I started incubated in Naipur in the BioNest.
Avishkaran, the bionest of Naipur. Hyderabad was inaugurated on the 16th foundation day of Naipur. On the sidelines of the event, My Startup TV spoke to founders of startups incubated at Avishkaran Bionest.
I'm Siddesh Shahakar. I'm student of Naipur, Hyderabad only. I'm from MBA department. My company name is Sanicare. Would you be interested in a product of personal hygiene if it causes skin irritation or problem? So I thought about this question, and for women's there is sanitary pads. In sanitary pads, it is having a lot of plastic in it and the harmful chemicals in it. Here comes the solution for our company. So we made a naturally compostable and biodegradable sanitary napkin, which is rash free and chemical free, and is also economical for women. Indian biodegradable sanitary market, as per the value, it reached around $12 million in 2021, and it is going to reach around $70 million up in 2027 with an CAGR of 35%. Here comes our product Sanicare, which is eco-friendly and naturally biodegradable sanitary napkin for women, which it will reduce the burden of plastic waste, as well as it will helps for sustainable and environmental friendly product. Previously in my bachelor's degree, I've made the product and I've also got a patent. My patent is published of this product. So basically this product is made up of coconut fibers. In market there are other products which are available, but they are biodegradable products which are available, but they are made from banana fibers. So we are focusing on coconut fibers, which has an enhanced absorptivity. So it will help for more absorption.
It's very fortunate for me to attend the blockchain, the block-to-block event by CoinSwitch. We've been associated with each other for the past 2-3 years. We've been empowering their infrastructure as we speak. So just to speak a little small about NeoCred, we are an infrastructure company. We built the rails for modern banking infrastructure in India. Today, all the Jupiters, the Neos, what you see, we are more of a similar solution in terms of tomorrow you want to launch your own neo-banking, you want to launch your credit card stack. We help in empowering the same by connecting you to bank, by providing you the relevant technology stack and taking it forward from there. So I think thank you so much My Startup TV to have me and also grace me with your presence, and happy to collaborate. Thank you.
I think the basic explanation that is given always, which probably is understood well, but I'll just repeat that, is that when internet was formed, it was that corporations will submit data which users can read. So it was a read-only format. Then Web 2 came along, where social medias gave us an opportunity to be part of the conversation, create as well, right? So instead of just reading, we were writing these things, but we are not owning. So when you say post your photo on Facebook, now Facebook owns your photo. You all know that, right? Right. So they can learn as much things about you, run ads, do whatever they want with the data. And what Web3 is trying to form is read, write, and own. Give the ownership back to the user. Be the participant. Be a community member in making that decision happen.
I'll just expand on what he mentioned. So what this read, write, and own enables is a web of community-owned networks or community-owned platforms. So Web3 can also be visualized as a web of community-owned networks or platforms. I think I like to think about this way, right? So internet companies and Web3 companies, all these enterprises coming up are digital native businesses, right? Unfortunately, the ownership stack of these digital native businesses is still paper, right? If you're forming an internet company, you still have to go and form a private limited or an LLP, so on and so forth. So what this does is the place from where you can raise capital is limited to your regulation, your jurisdiction, because it's a paper format. And also regulators and governments get to decide how many shareholders are part of your cap table.
Depending on the law of the land.
Correct. So initially pre-tokenization, you could say, or pre-trend of digitizing ownership, this was not possible, right? So let's say I have my platform, I have 5 million users, and in all good sense, I want to give ownership to my users.
One example that works very well for me, at least I understand through that, is that say 15 years ago, you want to start a company. How would you start a company? You would probably order servers online. It will be delivered in your office or in a garage. You'll set it up, connect to internet. Takes 2 months to host your website online, right? But you owned it. Then Amazon came along, said that, oh, you don't have to go through all this process. I'll do that for you, but I'll charge obviously a fee for that. And a lot of the businesses today are hosted on Amazon's, Google's, Microsoft of the world, and they can choose to change the game, the rules of the game anytime, any day. We don't have the option. It has happened to especially Web3 companies that we have been deplatformed. Like I still remember 3 years ago, MailChimp suddenly closed our account that as a crypto company, you can't send mails from our ecosystem. So they can change the rules any day, any time. With Web3, what is happening is a community is building. So say our phones today are just lying here and there and are not getting used right now. Now Ethereum network says connecting these phones, creating a network. Any business who wants to host on this network, all these people who are now participant on the ecosystem get the benefit of it. The rules of the platform can only be changed when all of us or majority of us agrees to it. Right? So it's a community-based platform building rather than a entity-owned platform, which is say Amazon, and nothing wrong with Amazon, right? But it's the new way. This is a risky asset class. It is still building. The opportunity in blockchain is same as it was 90s internet, right? So nobody know where it's gonna head. The right amount of risk appetite, the right amount of capital is only can push this innovation to the usage point of view. You can always raise through retail investors, right? But there is a limit to the risk a retail investor can take, right? So although blockchain is open, anyone can contribute, big institutions coming in can bring in that reliability, bringing that risk appetite into the ecosystem and help it grow multi-folds, which a retail investment may not be able to do.
What I was thinking was it's important milestone at this point of time, because if I talk about hard facts, if you're a Web3 startup working from here, usually like any product, right? How does value flow into a product? It flows either from fiat or it flows from crypto. And unfortunately, if you're a Web3 startup in India, you can get value from neither. You are not allowed to bring value from fiat because getting a fiat on-ramp is so difficult. And it would have been, I think it is an arena which NPCI probably could comment a lot more. Can you at some point solve fiat on and off ramps for Web3 startups and make it easy? Maybe it is a question to payment gateways and banks as well. But today that is really hard. So you cannot bring value from fiat. You don't have token issuance in the country, so you cannot bring value from crypto. So if you're a Web3 startup, what the regulations are actually telling you is stay there and survive until I save you. So that's where probably institutional money is a savior at this point, because you have to look somewhere to bring value. If you cannot bring consumer value, you can at least bring investor value from those guys.
So it all comes down to user experience. And you rightly said that a user scrolling on a Facebook doesn't need to know what is happening in the background, as long as the assurity that their data is not getting misused is given to them, right? So it may happen that a new platform comes in, bring in similar experience with an added functionality of security of your data, and people start moving there. Or Facebook realizes that the world is already moving there, why not I take the first step? And Facebook itself become that decentralized platform, helping secure user privacy, right? So we don't know where the direction is going, how much time it will take. I cannot predict. If I could predict, then I would build those products as well. But it will happen, because the cat, the cat is out of the box. What's the saying, right? So now people know that this can be done, right? It wasn't possible before, it is possible now. So all the technology need to evolve. When will happen, nobody can predict, but it will happen when the user experience doesn't need to deteriorate from what it is today. It can only go up. And if it can go up, you can build a better experience with these security measures, then people will come to those platforms, or the old platforms will evolve themselves to be the decentralized platform.
There are already emergence of quantum resistance blockchains, and a way to look at blockchains is it's like a crowdsourced computer, or you can look at it that way. And as more hardware innovations are available to others, even nodes can become supercomputers as well, or quantum computers. We are yet to see how those structures are being implemented, but already people are thinking about it. How can we secure blockchains when quantum computing becomes a reality? So I think any industry is a reflection of the talent inside that industry. So we are often faced challenges. I think people will come up with solutions for it. It is a problem which is highly recognized, so I'm hopeful it will definitely be solved. It'll be good to look at blockchains which are promising quantum resistance now, how they are trying to architect their solutions. But I'm not worried that it won't be solved.
So, by the way, this is just one part of the blockchain, right, which can be upgraded. So, today SHA 256 may get broken through, say, quantum computing. RBI releasing CBDC, they have said that it would be quantum computer proof, that it can't be even broken. So, it's just the encryption level needs to go up. And it's a normal upgrade that happens in every network, right? And it's just a network upgrade that would enable us to handle even quantum computers at that point. It's based on a type of encryption which today survives the world. Tomorrow there would be new set of computers with a new capabilities. The network need to update. It's not based on SHA 256 or 512, right? It is just a component in there. The component needs to upgrade as the world is evolving. That's about it. So it will still survive. So it's the base is still not the the encryption what you use. It's the how you use the encryption.
Yeah, also just to add on how to look at these problems, right? Some problems are ecosystem problems which often as ecosystem evolves can be solved. Like the other person mentioned, how will consumers come onto this space? For example, the philosophical approach and the infrastructural approach is not meant for consumers. Consumers, for example, today consumers of internet don't care about how open source protocols were evolved. These are the unsung heroes, right? Actually, people who did FOSS movements, built all those open source backbones of the internet used today, built it for no monetary benefits. But consumers are using it when business models came in, monetization came in, so on and so forth. I think we'll see a similar trend for Web3. How to look at it as builders is, it's great if builders actually align with why the philosophical reason of why do we need a Web3 or what are the benefits of this, and as an infrastructure, how can we provide experience and improve it to become at some point as close as what you're using today, right? So the challenge of innovations, and I talk about this in my team, if we were to make a TV probably for 10 people, it'll probably cost a lot more, right? Because so many people use it, economies of scale comes in and it becomes more affordable. So any innovation always faces a combination of all these challenges. Infrastructure may not be ready, maybe more costly, may not be enough talented people building on it, but eventually as ecosystems keep developing, it will be solved over time. I would say censorship resistant is one of the features which are possible on Web3, right? So what is Web3 if we say? I think the way Web3 will change based on how builders and initial startups actually come and shape up, right? Like you said, user ownership or censorship resistant, these are all bunch of features available to you today as builders. How do we actually make use of it and build it? You can, censorship resistant is a very tricky term to actually use, because we actually sit at a timeline where innovation at all times, innovation and regulation are at two ends of spectrum, and the moment you say censorship resistant, you're not being liked by one end of the spectrum. How do you make innovation more accessible to people? If that's the question you're facing for, then there's obviously there's a trade-off. There will always be networks which also have these features. I think privacy coins, etc., privacy networks, decentralized VPN, so on and so forth, are focusing on censorship resistant, but not every application requires censorship resistance in my perspective.
I remember the time in 2017-18 when the market crashed. As a builder, it was a very, very hard time. Our volumes came down like 20x. It was like how do we build, how do we continue building in this market? And I know a lot of your projects might be facing that at this point. The markets are tanking. You're not able to get the growth that you thought you would get, right? But this is a very right time to build. Like Parth showcased, a lot of amount, $23 billion is just on the sidelines, which need to be deployed in the next 3 years, right? A lot of amazing use cases need to be unlocked on Web3 ecosystem, for which we need to keep on building, right? And this is the right time through, the support of T-Hub, through the support, whatever we can do. I know we have said CoinSwitch a lot of times. We are not just branding here, but we really want to help. We really want to build this ecosystem. You want to just call out anyone. We are always available for any help that you need. But the idea is that don't lose hope. Web3 is something that we have believed over the years. We have been in this space. This is our third down cycle. And the only way out is to continue building, right? And to continue to fight, right? Whatever help you need, I think there are enough supporters today to help you in this journey, and looking forward to interacting with you, right?
Gamification of social media is the new trend. Hyderabad-based gamified social media startup Denarlin did a soft launch of its platform at the T-Hub. The startup appointed Sumant Penta as the ambassador. He spoke about the brand and it means to him and why he chose to be associated with Denarlin.
Very warm afternoon to everyone present here. I think before I begin, let me fulfill my duties as the brand ambassador of Denarlin. I'd like to welcome each one of you to the product launch of Denarlin. Social media is evolving. I think each one of us is evolving along with social media. And my intent here is to only articulate why I've chosen to be the face of the platform of Denarlin, right? Why I've made this conscious choice to represent the brand of Denarlin. Now, before Tagore Senior actually gives us the product pitch of Denarlin, of the platform, because so far I know all of you are very excited to know what the platform is, how you are going to be part of the revolution that the platform is going to generate. So big ups to you, Tagore Senior, and all the very best for the product pitch. But in the morning when I entered the room, I've spoken to a lot of people and I've asked them, what could Denarlin be? What do you think Denarlin could be? Right? So the only answers I've got were a gamified social media platform. You get rewarded for your activity, get rewarded for your time. But what is time really? What is time in the context of the internet? Now, time in the context of the internet, let me take you back by about 40 years in the lane of time. I'm of course talking about 1983. Why is 1983 significant? Of course, India won the World Cup, but otherwise, why is 1983 significant in the context of the internet? Ladies and gentlemen, that is the day when the internet was born. 1st January 1983 was when the TCP/IP protocol was introduced to the internet, and that's when the first transaction was made on the internet, right? But the internet was intended to be a space that was free and just for everybody. A platform that makes human beings equals, irrespective of religion, caste, creed, sex, gender, race, religion, color. The internet was meant for everybody. Cut to 40 years later, about 40 years later, I'm talking about the year 2021, that did not remain the reality of the internet anymore. Because the internet was supposed to be a free space, a just space for everybody. But what happened in the year 2021 was that when the internet had traveled for 40 years, the power of information on the internet started to lie in the hands of very few people. Very few players in the internet arena have started to control information. Now, they have become so powerful that they were more powerful than the most powerful person on the planet at the time. Who was that gentleman there? 45th President of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump. These few players in the internet arena have proven to be more powerful than the most powerful person on the planet at the time. Now, why do I say this? A lot of Mr. Donald J. Trump's ideas were struck off social media. He was banned from Twitter, he was banned from Facebook, he was banned from YouTube also. Now, it's true that the reason for his ban was that he was spewing a lot of hate speech at the time. But what is also important to note is that his ideas were struck off because those ideas were unpopular ideas, right? So, as a user of social media, tomorrow, my ideas could also be struck off the internet just because mine could also be unpopular ideas. So from 2021, cut to the present day. This is a pertinent question to ask. This is a pertinent problem to solve. Do I place the power of my information in the hands of a foreign entity? Do I place the power of my information in the hands of somebody else? This is a pertinent problem, a pertinent question to ask. So ladies and gentlemen, what is the solution to that? What could be the solution to that? I present to you, ladies and gentlemen, Denorlin. Why Denorlin is the solution to the problem I've just articulated is Denorlin is a platform built on Web 3.0 and blockchain. Now, what do Web 3.0 and blockchain mean? They could be marketing terms, they could be terms just given to promote a kind of a technology, but the real essence of Web 3.0 and blockchain is that the power of your information is no longer in the hands of anyone else. The power of your information is finally in your hands. When I say the power of your information, I'm talking about three things. Not just power, not just information, but also money. Power, information, money. Let me talk about power first. Like I mentioned, the power of my content lies in my hands. Let's talk about information. Completely unbiased, right? To give you a small example of how information is controlled, you put a foreign idea or a native idea on traditional social media platforms, those ideas are more likely to go up in the ranks, right? But you put an Indian idea on the same social media platforms, that idea would not go up in the ranks as easily. Why is that so? Because those foreign players are not Indian players. The algorithm is set such that a certain agenda is pushed through those platforms, right? Now, how does Denorlin come to the rescue? Denorlin is a true blue Make in India product. And now I'm proud to say that the power of my information is placed in the hands of an Indian platform. Now, what does that mean for India as a country? Indian ideas, Indian values, Indian ideals, Indian personalities, Indian emotions will now find the center stage, ladies and gentlemen. So big ups to Denorlin for achieving that. And when I talk about the present day, I've taken you right from 1983 to 2022. Now, what lies ahead after 2022? I give it over to Tagore Senior to articulate why Denorlin is the biggest player in the social media platform post 2022, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much and a very good afternoon. I hope you have a very good afternoon going forward.
Denorlin, a gamified social media application, recently launched its beta version at an event organized at T-Hub. Tagore Jr., the founder of the startup, addressed the gathering at the launch. Listen in.
Good morning, one and all. Thank you for coming today, sir. So, I will love to my way of styling welcoming everyone is Namaste, my dear humans. And this is the world of Denorland. So today here we are sitting here, the birth anniversary of Sir APJ Abdul Kalam. So, it's been up to 91 years that the earth is revolved around the sun. So this is something which we've been waiting for since past 2 years. Working each and every day. Day and night. Meeting new people. Understanding new perspectives. Understanding more new perspectives. Let's say, as we know, I'm so stressed and so overwhelmed today, and I would like to first thank my team first for making us trusting me and my brother believe about this concept. As you people might listen about Denorland, right? So I'm going to give you the overview of the concept and the journey of the Denorland. So the idea was started in the lockdown period, and me and my brother started a character. It's a superhero character, which we named it as Galaxy Brains. As we are both, we named it as a Two Galaxy Brains. So the whole aspect of Two Galaxy Brain is something we want to differentiate the thought process between a human mind and a galaxy brain. So how a human mind thinks and how the galaxy mind thinks. Because as we need to understand that humans are flying from one planet to another planet, right? So the mind is evolved from so much of new perspectives. The world is not the same thing which we saw in the beginning of what we saw before like 30, 20 years. The world changed entirely different into new era. So why this name Denorland came into existence? Most of the people might ask, like, what is Denorland? Denorland is something Dena or Lena. That means give and take. So we believe that in life nothing is for free. We had a statement that even though if my mom feeds me, she's getting happiness in return. So there is no such thing called free or something. There's no meaning. We believe that everything which is happening in this entire world has a meaning to it and has a value to it. So that's how the Denorland came into existence. So this is where we started. The galaxy of the journey of Two Galaxy Brains, and in this process we have fixed with 3 points. That means to give the benefits to the end user. We are using social media since maybe from the past 15 to 20 years, but every day as an end user I'm not getting any benefit, right? So the 80% of the population is an end user, right? So we need to give benefits to the end user. The time which we are spending on social media should be worthwhile, and the post or anything which we upload in a social media should have a right value to it, right? A likes and a comments or sharing is not what makes a post valuable. And our main aspect is something to know themselves first. Means if you open any social media in this present world, that we are focusing on other people first, right? There is no such thing in this entire world which talks about ourselves. What you like, what is your favorite stuff, where do you belong? So Denorland is solving that problem in the initial stages. So, but in this entire journey, my special thank is for the T-Hub. That means it gave larger range of visibility in the market and the new perspectives. It's like it gave the colors to the picture of Denorland. So it is a visibility, and our main future goal is something we want to make every thought into reality. Because imagine whatever you're seeing is a thoughts, right? Is a thought of a Steve Jobs, this Apple, is a thought of someone's. Everyone are creating their thoughts into reality. Why can't we do it? Like, every thought has a value. Every thought should come out of the reality. So that's what our main goal is. Thank you.
Denarlin, a gamified social media application, recently launched its beta version at an event organized at T-Hub. Tagore Senior, the founder of the startup, addressed the gathering at the launch. Listen in.
The moment when you have pitched that Denarlin as Dana or Lena, have seen that walking snake. You people might wonder, how many of you people have seen a walking snake in your life? Anyone? Anyone who have seen a walking snake? No, but I have seen it. Most every single day when I pitch the same concept to the world, people always respond like snakes don't walk, they crawl. But I have seen it. That is the power of vision. Where only, each and every single individual who believes an idea can see that walking snake. You might have seen your own walking snakes in your life where you wanted to prove to the world that I have seen it, right? Am I right or wrong? Like, yes or no? Yes or no? Charan? Yes or no? Youngsters of the nation, like, I just want you to respond yes or no. So that is where we have a very self-confident about ourselves. Initially, Indian culture doesn't have a more experience towards the entrepreneurship kind of mindset. And, how every family goes through it. Initially, it was a really tough start for us to start the organization from our end. But we finally registered our company and we have done a couple of good achievements within the process of the last 2 years. So we've been incubated in T-Hub on 2022 January 13th. It's been a quick 8 to 9 months that where we have that guidance from the T-Hub. Before Denarlin used to have a lot of trust issues in the market. So what T-Hub has given us is a visibility into the global market, where we can, reach out to the whatever the target set of audience at a very near space. So, in order to go through the concept like what Denarlin is developing, so our ultimately thought was to understand oneself first. Like the same question which someone, like I think Hari asked you, like, how many of you know yourself first, right? The moment when someone comes for an interview, like, tell me about yourself, they'll start pitching that this is my name and this is what the college I have studied in and this is what the school I have studied in. How many of, my question is like, how many of you guys really know yourself? Like, me gurinchi meeku enta varaku telusu anedi, like, that is what our ultimate awareness that where we wanted to spread. So we finally came up with the 2 USP points for now, where you're gonna have the user experience by using our application. So first USP point, it's top 10s. What is top 10s? Do you ever think what's your favorite song is? What's your favorite first song is? What's your favorite first movie is? So we came up with a very unique feature which is called as top 10s. Click on any particular one. So we are coming up with a new feature which is called as top 10s. So each individual user can select 10 categories, within the given 45 categories. These are not like suggestions which you will get in the traditional social networking application, where users need to upload their favorites from their experiences, from their emotions. That is where you start thinking about yourself, like what exactly you are. Can anyone says, like, let us go with one single thing. Anyone from the back, I just wanted to, that's really appreciated to have your, support towards the Denarlin. Just hello?
Hello? Yeah.
Yeah, Charan.
Yes, sir.
So, like, you are also a beta tester of our application. Now, what's your experience using this top 10s? I just want you to share. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in my point of view, the top 10s are about the industry domains which we are good at, like which we like mostly. And the categories, like I choose technology, like websites and everything, because I am interested in those. So I posted what I like the most. It says who am I, what I like, what I think. That's it.
So what is that one good experience that you had by uploading your top 10s?
I'm sharing what I know.
So my one quick question for you to understand, like, do you really started thinking about yourself? And that's what the question we wanted to raise.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. So this is where we have believed, working on these top 10s can really make user understand who they actually are. And we came up with another USP point, which is called as valuation process, where we have believed, if Picasso painting has its own value, why not the post on social media? If Picasso painting has its own value in the market, why we are restricting the users to value a post on social media by giving certain amount of, whatever the set of value features they are giving in the current market. So what we came up with, another USP point, which is called as a valuation process. Just scroll up. So this is how the valuation process works in the Denorland. So there is a structure which we have built an algorithm with the support of technical team. So moving forward, like the entire, why I'm not pitching the entire concept to you, because if I say this is a comedy movie or if this is an action movie, you're gonna view the movie in terms of what I said. So what we wanted to do is like have the hands-on experience of using the application, have your feedbacks, have your suggestions how we can improve the user-friendly experience of using this Denorland application, and how we have built this application right from the scratch. I just want technical team to work on this here.
My name is Vivek Sridhar and I'm the President Sales for Neocred. And Neocred is a company which basically covers the end-to-end journey of a fintech. So when I say journey, right from a customer onboarding experience to processing transactions to ensuring that there is data analytics that we provide to all the customers that they are onboarding, what kind of spending patterns that the customers are doing today, to providing all the prepaid solutions that is required for a company, for cashbacks, for gift cards. We are also coming up with neo-banking solutions where we can provide account opening and FD booking facilities onto the customers and everything. So we provide an end-to-end journey of a fintech. So right from the time a fintech is born to the time a fintech becomes with a 1 million customer, the entire solution that a fintech would require is something that we provide. And this solution, what we call is a Neobox solution. And this is something that we're doing today in terms of revolutionizing and democratizing the entire financial industry today. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm Ritu Mukherjee, representing Serona's Lab from Kolkata. I'm the CTO and the co-founder of this company. And here we are showcasing a product which is an ICU ventilator, which has been indigenously built. We started the journey 2 years back during the COVID time. And we've just completed recently with a successful product, which is reliable, accurate, and up to the par with the major players in the market like Macquarie, Draga, and the likes. So that is how it has been with us. As a company, of course, my co-founder, Dr. Vikas Agarwal, we started this company with a vision to bring affordable and innovative healthcare to the market. That was the main idea behind it. And we have been in the process of developing a lot of products. ICU ventilator came into the mind during the COVID time when India was facing a huge crisis with ventilators. And we see the sufferings of the people around during the pandemic. And that is what motivated us to jump into this particular scenario and try to help people out. This is absolutely, if you compare with the major market players, which are all imported in India, like Macquarie, Draga, Medtronic, etc., we're absolutely at par or even better in certain ways. And better as in, I would tell you, this particular device is extremely portable. Half of the ventilators presently in use in the scenarios are not very portable. They rely on several things like a hospital compressed air supply. So this is completely self-reliant. It does not require those piped gases, nothing at all. Further, we have a 10-hour-long battery standby time, which makes it very portable to remote areas, to trauma care. locations instantly without the need of any other ancillaries. Well, a similar product in the market which ends up around 15 to 18 lakhs, we have brought the cost down remarkably. We have a wide range which starts from an affordable 5 lakhs to a high end of 10.5. So we are at TRL 7. So we are doing the certifications part, and subsequently we shall definitely proceed towards manufacturing and market. We would try to go via a distributor, certainly in certain cases, but definitely we have opportunities where we could directly approach the hospital system. Lots of suggestions we have received which are very valid, which are worthwhile, which we have probably missed during our innovations. So definitely they have been really helpful towards that. We definitely got lots of words of wisdom from the eminent people in the field, and a lot of ideas and motivations have been received from this particular IKP Expo. Yes.
Hi, I am Arshad. I'm from Kerala. I am the founder of Coexine Technologies Healthcare Private Limited. We are into psychology and physiotherapy tool manufacturing startup company registered in Startup India, Kerala Startup Mission, DPIIT. We are into, as I mentioned, we are into psychology and physiotherapy tool manufacturing. Our concept is to measure the attention of our society, people, those who want to be tested, like how much we have the attention and how much we have the finger coordination, like fine motor and gross motor level. So these are the three main points, and also we would like to there is no any evidence-based exercise tools are available in the market. So these all are our main attraction of our products, and we have currently 4 types of products, like concentration coordination testing apparatus, which we can help to measure our fine motor coordination and our attention level. So once we find an poor performance in that device, in that testing tool, we have an exercise tool for improvement. That exercise tool, we named it as concentration coordination exercise tool, which helps to improve attention, hand coordination, fine motor coordination, memory power, handwriting, self-confidence. So this all we already researched, and we find out those improvements in the population such as ADHD, learning disability, mental retardation, autism, ataxia patient, Alzheimer's patient. So those populations can use our exercise tool for the improvement of their hand coordination, memory power, and attention level. So, and also we have another tool like gross motor coordination and gross motor coordination diagnostic tool, which helps to measure our gross motor muscle coordination with our brain and attention level. So once we get that poor performance in our testing tool, we have an exercise tool for the gross motor coordination exercise tool. That exercise tool helps to improve the gross motor coordination of main muscle coordination with our brain and attention level. Also the body balancing, we can improve the body balance by daily practicing. Also self-confidence to be improved by daily practicing. So this all are we researched, and we got the paper also we finished, and everything we are done with. Yeah. Where we are finding like normal students are everything qualified, but everything is happening from the basic, from the school structure. We have to build everything. So what we find is like we have to give some teaching for the children in our population, and we have to teach them. There is some technique, is a cognitive skills technique, like hand coordination, attention level. So we can improve the attention level by practicing such type of things. So what they will be getting, like they will be thinking far more better than now. So that is the main thing, and also attention is very much important in our daily life, as you said. It should be nowadays nobody knows about how we can improve. We just telling the children to you give attention, you learn that thing. That's the only one that we are forcing them. We also don't know how to improve. Yeah, how to do it. So we are telling those people that we have the device for that. No need to be forced the population to do this like this. Just practice with our tool, and they will definitely get improvement in the attention and hand coordination. Currently, we are looking for actually 2 crores, and for the complete, we have to be change our aesthetic design, and we want to implement that one all over the pan India. And also, we already studied some market study in UAE, and we found there also requirement is there. So we want to expand that also. So altogether, we are looking for expansion. Actually, currently we have the basic model of hardware system only. It's an equipment. So we are planning in the future. We are just looking for a funding to raise. Once we got that funding, we will definitely make it to an, as you said, integrate with the system. Like we can convert our testing tool to artificial intelligence integration, and also the exercise tools we can convert to IoT, Internet of Things. So we have the logic, everything, and we are just waiting for an funding. Currently, we have the revenue like monthly. We have around 1 lakh. We are doing there, but we will get more if we try for that. No, we definitely will get more, and we are just trying to make it like that. You know, we just currently we have only reached up to Chennai, but we already reached in AIIMS Delhi, and so getting some response from them. So we got that as our design is very good, and they appreciated us as well. And they said some suggestions for that. We already implemented suggestions, and it's moving now. Yeah, in the testing tools we are selling with 22,500 MRP, and the exercise tools we are in a different tools. The fine motor level we are selling with 3,000, and the gross motor we are selling with 3,500. Yeah, it's very great. No, IKP. I don't know about these facilities in Hyderabad. I came here before 2 times, and I just visited the universities and other hospitals only. But came into this IKP, I came to know that there is some supporting people are there for startups, and also they are much experienced. And yesterday their inauguration was very impressive, and it's very knowledgeable also. So being in touch with these people, it will be very beneficial people like me. So I really appreciate IKP to have me here.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ravi Kiran Manapuram, and I've founded this company called Medev Plus. It's registered as Tishas Medical Device Development. People know it by Tishas and Medev Plus as well. And I'm the managing director of the company as well. The company started with 2 other managing directors, Shweta Patnaik and Smita Patnaik, and Dr. Matthew Kurian is an ophthalmologist at Chaitanya Eye Hospital as well. And then we have other funding partners like PMC, Photonics Marketing Company, Mr. Atulya ji. We have VIT TBI, who gave a Bayrak seed fund, and we are also supported with BIG and Elevate from Government of Karnataka. What we do here is we are diagnosing glaucoma at a very early stage, and this diagnosis can happen anywhere at any point of time and can be done by anybody. It's a very portable device, and it can be carried in the flight as well as in the on the bike. It has been made so robust that it can be carried anywhere. It uses a very proven technology called optical coherence tomography. It is a 3D imaging technique. It passes light and gives a 3D structure of the eye. And from the 3D structure of the eye, we develop something called as a retina nerve fiber layer thickness map. And that thickness map gives the initial glaucoma, causes of glaucoma. Now, since it's a 3D imaging system, it has much more potential as well. We can also look at age-related macular degeneration. We can also look at diabetic retinopathy, keratoconus, keratitis. So the entire eye diseases can be diagnosed using this technology. But currently we are focusing on glaucoma because as of now there is no tool which can identify glaucoma at a very early stage, and glaucoma being the 12% blindness causing disease that is prevalent in India. In fact, WHO and NBM from NH, all they prefer that every person who is 40 years and above needs glaucoma screening at every 6 months. So that's the requirement as of now, and that is what we have developed. We have passed our regulatory 2 days back, and we are ready for the clinical validation. We have tied up with few hospitals to get our clinical validations done. And the next step we have is to make it further small, so 6 kilograms. We have already designed, we have patented, we have one patent filed internationally and 2 more patents following up. And the entire product release is planned for this financial year, before March 31st, 2023. The funding is very important because it's a deep technology product. As of now, thanks to Indian government and thanks to Karnataka government and thanks to VIT who supported us, right now we have very low margins. We see there's quite a lot of imports in here. We are looking to raise close to 5 crore so that we can convert this product to a completely indigenous, so that we can have more margins in our product. So that's the kind of amount we are planning to raise. This particular product is equipped with so much technology. It has got an OLED inside, which was researched by multiple hospitals, and that data we have used. We have made it in such a way that one shot, it takes less than 2 minutes to get the entire scan of the eye. So it is designed in such a way that anybody, any vision technician, even a high school pass out can easily use the system. You know, Anganwadi workers can also use it, and like a set of 100 people can use it. Are trained, then this device can be taken up by the government and even internationally. It's very easy to get trained. Actually, when we heard first time about My Startup TV, it was like, you know, it was like a river flowing to the right tributary. You know, it was like amazing. This is what something we really want, and we can go right fishing. You know, it's for both for I think investors as well. They can find us, and we can get exposure to the right audience. You know, there are multiple platforms, but getting exposure to the right audience is very, very important. I think that's what you guys are doing.
International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in.
Hi, I'm Rajesh Yadav, CEO of Aerobasis Innovations Private Limited. We are an IIT Hyderabad incubated startup. We are incubated at Center for Healthcare Entrepreneurship. We basically develop medical devices, smart medical devices for ICU care products. So our first device is Jeevan Light, what you see right in front of you. It's an adult and pediatric based ventilator which can be controlled from a distance. It has an IoT feature. That's a key feature that we required during COVID times. That's when we wanted the help from the doctors. When doctors are in close contact with their patients, they might get the contamination from them. So that's when we thought if we can control the device from a distance is what our overall idea was. We have a tab over here, 10-inch tab, which can be detached also and can be controlled from anywhere from nearby, or also if you want to control the whole system. In a rural setup, you have some doctors, and there's a doctor, well-established, experienced doctor in city, and they want to control the system, see what is their exact current monitoring status. That also they can do it by logging into the system. That's a key feature. In terms of cost, we have placed ourselves at 4 lakhs. As we compared with respect to our competitors, they will be like costing around 15 lakhs. With that, we have 1/3 is a price is what we were, the major part, a novelty which you want to please. We are already deployed 65 units. So using support from USAID and other different partners, government partners like Department of Science and Technology, Department of Biotechnology and BIRAC. This is like a very ideal product for anyone who's from tier 2 cities. They have like very small bed size of 10 to 15 and they want to afford for upgrading their hospitals to as compared to a tier 1. That's a market which we have tapped in, which is the market which is not so far tapped in by the international brands. So because of the cost advantage, they are very keen to buy our units. That's why we have 200 plus pre-orders right now that we're currently working around to build the inventory and scaling up. That's our major goal in the next 6 months. We do have three products in our portfolio. This is the second device which we are working. The first one is a differential lung ventilation. That's the world's first differential lung ventilation. Though we consider lung as a single organ, there's like two different compartments. If one lung is infected more than the other, can we do it a differential way is what our hypothesis. With that, we did the initial set of product. It's almost an upgraded version of this, where you have two different flow rate, two different pressure, and then each lung can get different pressure. That's the first device. The third device is the JB Fit. It's like a smart vital monitor. It's like a watch which you can wear it. It will be able to collect SpO2 vital monitors, and that can be connected to a system. It will be like a full like feedback loop where the diagnosis will be done by the watch and the therapeutics will be given by the system. So that's like we're trying to tap into all this devices which is required for critical care. That's how we are trying to get into the market. So we are looking for raising $2 to $3 million at an evaluation of 100 crore. That's like next set of plan. This for increasing the scale up, where we have a target of around reaching 1,000 unit sale by end of 2023 and 2024. That's like we are part of a Mission Bharat program where we want to deploy this ICU care products in rural setup, so that the rural setup people who have these kind of problems, they don't have to be dependent on a tier 1 city. They have to travel all the way to a city. They lose their daily jobs. It's not just them, the relative also lose it. And they go to a burden of paying the loan. So those things can be dropped down if we can deploy these kind of units into a rural setup and enhance their quality of care. We are looking for CE certification. So we have finished almost 50% of the paperwork. We are now looking for it. So it will take around next 3 to 4 months to get the certification in process. And then we are open for European, Asian and African market. IKMC 2022 has been a great experience. We have been part of this IKP for a long time, and this is a great exposure for any startup like us at whatever stage you are, even prototype or in a commercial stage. It helps us to connect with the investors who are coming in, and also to pitch your ideas to new people who are looking to invest also. And also there are sometimes you also look for internships, and someone who wants to join the company to also get an exposure. That's something which we are currently exploring. Let's see how things works out.
International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in.
Good evening, everyone. I am Professor Shomojit Roy. I am the co-founder of Solar Initiative Private Limited. We are based out of Kolkata, Bengal, and we are incubated in West Bengal Webel BCCI Incubator at Salt Lake in Kolkata. Our product is an innovation. It's a very portable modular oxygen making device. As you know, during the COVID period, we developed it with our own science, our own deep science and technology. We developed the product. It saved millions of lives. So it solves the pain points in the oxygen industry. So at a time when our health system was outstretched, this innovation came in handy for our friends, for our near ones, and as well as the community in that region en masse. So which is a pleasure and a beauty, and that is priceless, because we think that healthcare should be affordable. And as Dr. Devi Shetty says, and my dad is also a medical doctor, according to them, if healthcare is not affordable, it's no healthcare at all. So our mission is to make healthcare affordable, portable, and take it to every household so that no lives are lost. So the cost of this right now is 30,000 rupees. We are giving a discount of 5,000, but we are also exploring tech transfer possibilities because, you know, we are scientists. So we want to do a tech transfer, and we have the vision that there will be 2 modules available. One is the cheaper, inexpensive one, which should be very less, and one high-end one with lot of beautiful added add-ons like IoT implementation and Uber kind of implementation. And that will be a little bit expensive one. So we want to reduce the price, one below 10,000 segment and another one maybe 40,000-50,000 segment. So that's our vision. So it's a commercialized product, but now we have the market traction. If you Google, for example, Solaire OM Redox, you will have a lot of internet traction. And recently, I'm very happy to say that recently Honorable Prime Minister launched this product in Pragati Maidan, and the Science Minister also inaugurated this product. So it came under the innovation of 75 innovations in 75 years of independence, and that was an initiative initiated by BIRAC, which also connected us with the IKP knowledge platform. So we are now partnered with IKP, and we hope that we can take this innovation further so that if anyone needs oxygen, we want Om Redox to be a household name here or even in Mars. So we are in the process of nucleating that ecosystem. So this is our first product. We have several other products in the pipeline. So this product, we now want to do a tech transfer, layer by layer tech transfer. And that's where we are partnering with IKP, because they have a lot of experience and expertise, so as to make this scaled across continents, across the countries. And this will make the dream of Made in India come true at high innovation and high deep science tech space. So that's our business model. Basically, we want to license it across different countries. So we are having discussion with Bangladesh. We are also in the final stages of discussion with Webel, who is licensed. We are in the process of licensing it. So licensing is our model, and we have non-exclusive license. And we are also looking forward for partnership in southern India, meaning Hyderabad and around, because this is the most happening place so far as innovation, deep science is concerned. This has been an awesome experience. We are extremely thankful because we have come across an extremely talented set of people who cuts across the edges of expertise with legal knowledge as well as epistemology, which is a rare combination which we see in the IKP team, right from the CEO, right down to Harshata Wadkar and Bandhana. So we have an excellent team. They are working together seamlessly, and this has been a wonderful experience. We were able to connect with top people, decision makers, and we were also see the possibility of even nucleating a tech transfer right here in Hyderabad. So we are extremely pleased. We didn't expect so much. So we have our hands full, and we are very, very grateful to IKP as well as BIRAC for giving us this opportunity. I think this is a unique initiative, I would say, because my startup, what you are doing is really a platform. Because, startups, what they look for platforms to be promoted. People who are doing startup, they are not doing it for revenue sake only. They are doing it because it's a passion, and they need facilitating platforms, because platforms are like yours, my startup, can make a difference, and they can really take the startups like ours to doors and across barriers, because nowadays people don't read newspapers. Everything happens on Twitter, on Facebook in real time. And that's where technology, seamless technology and seamlessly integrated platforms like my startup and similar initiatives can create a new ecosystem. They can become a new fourth pillar, so to speak, of this fabric where executive, legislature, and judiciary, if you consider them as three pillars, then these type of platforms can become the fourth pillar, and they can enable us, and they can reach us, take us to a different level. So I think it's a wonderful initiative, and we hope that we can also, be part of this initiative and help each other and giving back to the society. That's also the dream, I think, of every startup owner or startup initiator, because at the bottom of our heart, we are trying to make India a better place to be. So it's a wonderful initiative, and thank you so much.
International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in.
I'm Dr. Nageshwar Rao. I did a PhD in protein chemistry. So my company is Bicus Therapeutics. Bicus Therapeutics is started by University of Hyderabad's alumni. We are into some of the niche areas of biopharmaceuticals. We were working on the biosimilars in the rare diseases and some of the biosimilars which are not available in India and which are not affordable by the Indian patients. We have already commercialized 2 products. We have licensed the technology to Indian companies, and we are working more on other products which are in pipeline. So we are presently on the B2B. We are strong in R&D. We develop the technology, and the technology will be transferred to other companies. So this is fantastic. We have got opportunity to learn a lot of people, a lot of innovators and entrepreneurs and business people. So definitely this is a big experience for us.
Good morning. This is Rohan Tripathi. I'm the founder of iNovocare HealthSoft Solutions Private Limited. Now, if any of you follow cricket regularly, you would have seen that this year during the IPL auctions, the auctioneer Hugh Edmundis had a fall, had a blackout and fell down. That is one of the symptoms of autonomic neuropathy. That is what we are trying to diagnose here. If you see that autonomic neuropathy has not one but many symptoms that tremendously degrade the general quality of life, and this increases a lot when you have diabetes, when you have old age, and even with some diseases like long COVID. So what we are doing here is we are recording your body's response when you are performing certain activities like change in posture, when you are doing activities like sustained hand grip, when you are doing a Valsalva maneuver, and we are comparing it with the medically set parameters results. We are following the Edwings et al. That has been accepted by the medical fraternity globally. The way we entered working into this was we had developed a very simple prototype of a head-up tiltable test for one of our mentors, Dr. Shamansdar, at the School of Tropical Medicine, Kolkata. Upon setting this up, we found out that the diagnostics required with that simple seesaw-like head-up tiltable test were severely lacking. After understanding that, we went to a lot of doctors for people involved in the medical education fraternity, and there we found out that a lot of doctors, they are saying, when we are asking them, do you think your patients, especially the diabetic people, must have this test done? They are saying yes. Then we ask them, how many of your patients have done it? Then they give us a smile. That's why we critically understood and tried to understand why this test is not happening. We examined the existing devices in this who are doing this partially. We found that one of the issues was the price was an issue, accessibility was an issue. Another issue was these devices are very bulky devices where the software runs in a separate PC or computer. That you can understand increases the price by 60,000-70,000. And if you think of the range of this problem, in India, the diabetic numbers are not a surprise to anyone. Even the elderly boom is absolutely at our doors. So that's why we think this is the time to look into this product. It's not about what I think, it's what the American Diabetes Association recommends. They are saying that for everyone with type 2 diabetes mellitus, everyone should have periodic testing of autonomic neuropathy. And even for the elderly, this is also critically required. Even these days, the doctors are saying for people who are rehabilitating or recovering from stroke, the stroke patients, to understand the quality of rehabilitation, this is required. Even these days, they are saying, the medical science is saying that for the sports people, because the sports people have to go through a lot of checks to see their physical fitness is at the best levels. You can perform a yo-yo test to get your external fitness done, but what about your autonomic neuropathy? So for these responses, it's essential to have tests like this. Currently, we have completed the individual parameter testing successfully with a very positive result. We have received the bioignition grant, and up next we are heading towards the testing in the medical clinical setting with near about 100 patients in a hospital with a medical supervision. Currently, what we are planning to do is enter near the commercial stage, gather as much as data from the grants that we have raised using BIRAC Big and initially Nidhi Prayas. Once we have sufficient data, then definitely we will require a lot of funds, because for a medical device, the clearance and the diagnostics, and we don't want to be restricted only in India, so the international licensing also will require sufficient amount of money. There was a lot of interest, not only from the doctors, but also people in the medical research community. They showed significant amount of interest, and they even, as we are taking some time developing it, I frequently get contacted and calls, like, how far are you? Have you done it? Like in this upcoming 14th November is the World Diabetes Day. So yesterday only I got a call from one of the doctors who is one of our biggest supporters. Like, let's have a screening with your device on that day. I say, just wait a little, let us get some momentum, and then we will proceed. It was absolutely great attending the IKMC 2022. I have been here previously in IKMC 2019 as well. Last 2 years I attended the online versions, but being here physically, meeting the who's who of the medical innovation community, it has been just awesome. And also meeting a lot of my mentors here also. So it has been a great learning experience.
International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in.
Hi, I'm Sanchit Jhunjhunwala. I'm one of the co-founders and the lead product design engineer for Translead MedTech. We're a deep tech startup based out of IISc Bangalore. We've grown out of the M2D2 lab there. We're working on the Stand at Ease assistive chair, which is basically a chair that helps you sit down and stand up. So currently we're working on finalizing the DFMA prototypes, which basically give you something that is optimal for manufacturing. We've already completed the basis prototypes for validation, and the assistance that is provided by these chairs in standing up and sitting down is currently being quantified by multiple modalities, EMG, GRF, and communicable feedback. So the product as of now is currently undergoing validation. So we haven't launched it yet. We're testing with a couple of groups, control groups, to understand what is the level of assistance that we offer. And compared to the competitors or other players in this arena, we have a significant price advantage. We're still on our pricing strategy, but it'll be at least by a factor of lesser by a factor of 4. So our consumers primarily whom we're targeting are the elderly, people above the age of 60, and especially the frail elderly who have been reduced in their musculoskeletal strength and capabilities because of disease, disorder, or other problems. But eventually this product is something that can help anyone and everyone who has knees, hips and ankles, because they undergo wear and tear as we grow. So anyone who has any of these issues, neuromusculoskeletal issues that robs them of their functional independence in sitting down or standing up, we provide them that assistance without any electrical power, without any electrical batteries, no motors. It's a completely compliant mechanical design, and it's customizable exactly to the person. The event has been lovely because we've got to interact with people from many different backgrounds, got their feedback on their both how they see themselves using the products, how they see their near and dear people using the product, but also what they think of as are the challenges associated with these. So a lot of insights, a lot of work for us to do. So that's what we expected in the first place. Thank you so much.
I am Nimisha Parekh, Dr. Nimisha Parekh. I am heading the production division at Serigen Medi Products Private Limited. So basically, Serigen is a innovation-driven tissue regeneration products company. So basically, it leverages the material science based on of silk protein. So at present, company having a portfolio of 3 different products where we target the advanced wound care, orthopedics and breast cancer surgeries. So basically, we are the world's first company who has an approval, who has successfully done silk in bone repair. So we successfully cleared the first round of clinical trials, and now we have a permission to conduct the pilot trial for bone repairs. Serigen has a like multidisciplinary team which comprises of a very premier institute like the MIT, then University of Delaware, then GE, then IIT Mumbai. So basically we have 3 products. So one product is we already launched in market before few months. So it is an advanced wound care product where there is an advantage of non-adhesiveness. So that is specifically designed for like burning wounds and diabetic foot ulcers, the wounds which oozes out the things. The second product is a Serios, which is, as I said, that we have cleared the first round of clinical trials where we implanted in 10 human patients. It is specifically for bone repair, and we have seen that as compared to the global standards, we have seen 2 times better performance in the human patients. And our third product, which is named as a Serimat, which is we specifically designed for soft tissue regenerations, and we have initiated its trial at Apollo Hospital in Bangalore for breast cancer surgeries basically. And yes, we recently closes the first round of our investment, and we need a huge fund for next round. So if you believe that we do some exciting, then please join us on this journey. As I said, out of these 3 products, 1 product we have already launched. Now we need next year for our pivotal trial for bone repair, which is our second trial. So we hope that early next 2024, we are able to launch this Serios for bone tissue repair product. And we will need some time for our third product as it is under R&D and clinical trials. Here the target customers are different, right? Like for our first product, any surgeon can use wound care. But yes, specifically whenever there is a diabetic, and you know India is a diabetic hub, so it is a huge market for that things. And for bone surgeries also, if we look up the bone fractures ratio, then India is the second largest one for bone fractures who uses bone void fillers for the bone surgeries. So for this product also we are having a very good market. And if I talk about my third product, then right now in India there is no other alternative available in Indian made which can support this type of breast cancer reimplantation surgeries. Whatever product surgeons are using, that is imported. So not every patient is afford that product. So for that also the doctors are very exciting and waiting that when can we launch this product. First of all, it is a natural product. As currently surgeons are using ceramic based products. So with respect to that, mechanically also this natural product is very stiff and bearable, load bearable, as well as it is a natural product, so it is degraded inside the body. So there is no removal surgery is needed for this bone tissue repair.
So myself, Dr. Bennett Boscodas. So I'm the CEO of 30M Genomics. So we are into completely genetic diagnostics. We want to change the way how genetic testing is being happen. So usually it happens in a sophisticated laboratory, and most of these laboratories located in cities, and we need skilled manpower to do this testing, analysis, all those stuff. So we want to change that way, so that you can do the genetic testing in a very low resource area like a primary health center, a small clinic, or even in sometimes if you want to do it in your home, you should be able to do it. So for that purpose, we are developing a different product starting from reagents, chemicals, kits are required, also the devices, portable devices, mobile applications. Like we are providing diverse products for this purpose. So that's what we are doing in our company. So we have developed 2 products already, and we have launched into the market. We are in very early revenue stage. So we are adding up the products into our portfolio. So we have made very little revenue. So it's less than 10 lakhs. So we are in very early stage. We are expanding our marketing team also now. So we have got a few grants and funds from government agencies like BIRAC, MITI and all. And we got a few private investments. Dr. R. Mashalkar is one of our investors. And we have sufficient funds to run right now. We are expecting to raise funds in the next 6 months. We are going for our pilot manufacturing facility also. So right now it's a B2B, because there is no proper awareness about this genetic testing, how to do it among the common people. So right now it is B2B. Our primary customers will be this diagnostic labs, hospitals, research institutes. So in future we would like to expand it to B2C also. So there are different reasons. One is like for communicable diseases and non-communicable diseases. So when I say like communicable diseases, COVID testing is the perfect example. So apart from that, you can do it for dengue, malaria, all those infectious diseases. And when you say non-communicable, you can find out your chances of getting cardiac arrest. You can change your lifestyle based on your genetic makeup. You can change your diet. You can change the way of exercise. All these stuffs are already available in market. So we are making the products to make it more affordable. So almost all our products are affordable, almost at 10 times lesser cost compared to the market available products. First of all, I will start with IKP itself. So IKP was great in helping us starting from getting the BIG grant, and from that point onwards, so they are continuously in connection with us. They have helped us in exploring our products with companies like Cortiva Agri Sciences. So they are very helpful, and this IKMC conference help us in meeting people, especially our angel investor Dr. R. Mashalkar, because he invested in our company without seeing and talking to us. So because it happened during the COVID times. So we are fortunate to meet him, and we are fortunate to meet Dr. Singh, who delivered the address today for the regulatory clearances. We are able to get a lot of knowledge on it. Thank you so much.
International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in. International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in.
I'm Dr. Rajkumar Kishore, representing Bombay and Women Valley Orchids Private Limited, which was incorporated in 2014 and located at and I'm the managing director and the chief scientist of our company. And we are a group of plant breeders who are working on breeding orchids, because we have India is having rich resource of natural orchids, but they are yet to be translated into the country. So our attempt is to breed orchids and develop commercial lines which can be supplied to nurserymen as well as to end users, which are the like the growers or the growers in India. And secondly, India is depending upon Thailand, Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia, etc. And importing orchids, huge amount of orchids every year. So our attempt is to reduce the import lots of import slots, so that if we manufacture, if we develop good commercial lines of orchids, then we can supply it to Indian growers. This is our, the second objective. Indian market, it is big and to the quantum of say $1 million of that sort every year. But it is increasing the year-wise. There are different types of orchids, like there are tropical types, temperate types, and depending on the different agroclimatic regions, like whatever orchids we have developed, they can be cultivated or grown in different parts of India, ranging from these temperate, subtropical, tropical. We have bred more than 200 the new hybrid orchids, and out of this, we have successfully registered 17 of them with the Royal Horticultural Society. We are at the pre-commercialization stage, and the technology readiness level is at 7. So we are having a R&D type of laboratory which is over low scale. So we are planning for scaling up for commercial production. Yeah, we have invested through our other funding agencies and our own fund to the tune of say 1.4 crore at the moment, and we are looking for another 5-6 crore for the commercial scale production. It is a great experience because we got associated with IKMC, IKP since 2014. And we enjoyed and we learned new things from IKMC. It's a great experience, and we like connecting the other new people and new investors, etc.
I'm Sandal Kotawala from Alphalius Technology Private Limited, and at Alphalius we have built world's first portable visual field perimeter. So essentially what this is it's a device for testing glaucoma. Now glaucoma is an eye disease from which almost 60 million people are affected worldwide, and it goes undiagnosed. So you may have glaucoma, right, in one of your eye, and since you open both your eyes, you may not realize that you have glaucoma. So until you get tested, you don't realize, and in fact 90% people goes undiagnosed. So what we have made is a test in a VR. It's essentially kind of a game where you can wear this VR headset and do a testing for glaucoma. And typically the traditional devices, they are big and bulky, costing about 25 lakh rupees, right? And it takes almost 30 minutes for a test to complete for a patient. What we have done is we have made that 1/10 the cost of conventional device. So it's 1/10 the cost, and it's 100 times portable, and it's way more comfortable for the patient. We worked with Arvind Eye Hospital and Johns Hopkins to validate it, and currently we have 100 plus users, 100 plus doctors who are already using it. More than 50,000 testing being done through our devices. We have an OEM who is doing it. Earlier we used to manufacture in Bangalore, but then we outsourced. As we were scaling up, we outsourced it to an OEM. And going forward, I think OEM based approach works best for us for the volumes we have. Yeah. The visual field perimeter market itself is about $500 million market in annual sales, and talking about other tests that can be incorporated. So the market is somewhere around $1 billion a year kind of revenue, and our strategy going forward is essentially to go device as a service. where instead of doctor having to pay for this device, he can pay per test utility, and that's what we are trying to raise about $500,000 to pilot and scale up that model. So far, since we have been mostly in India, we don't have, we are in process of getting CE. For the previous version, we had FDA 510K exemption, but for the current version, we don't have. So we are in process of getting those certification. Although we have a couple of users who are using as a demo device in US or a few in Africa. It has been amazing, especially, for example, there is this Dr. Abnisha in US, Moran Eye Center, and she's using these devices in the refugee camps. So people who are not a part of healthcare system, they can use device like this, and they can get benefited, who don't have healthcare there. And in Africa, of course, the pricing, it's a price sensitive market. So again, the response have been very good. So it was very personal experience. I was a glaucoma suspect. I went to Aravind Eye Hospital for an eye test, and then I realized the existing device is so difficult to use. It's so expensive. Moreover, it was never available for villages and outreach. So that was the motivation to make something portable and easy to use. And I'm proud. Like I've got a good team who helped me develop the entire thing. So I was more or less a developer, but now being an entrepreneur, you handle everything. Whatever it requires, you do that. So that's how it has been. Yeah, IKMC, it's been amazing. You find a lot of old folks you met probably 4 or 5 years ago, and they're back here. And also overall, the quality of sessions, right? The networking is good. The kind of people they're bringing in is amazing. The quality of sessions is great.
International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in.
Namaskar, this is Dr. Sarika Gupta, Director, Gleason Technologies Private Limited. It's an academic spin-off based at Parasri Vidyapith, and we are operating from Jaipur. We have developed a green technology industrial solution for the treatment of textile industrial effluent from the textile industry. Since we know that textile industries is the third amongst the global landscape, and because of the pollution that it creates, it is being placed in the red category. So our aim through our product GT Biozyme is to convert the red industry into the green industry. We basically treat the water and make it used, upcycled by the same industry, and the solid sludge that has been generated by the process of the treatment is going to be sent to the fertilizer industry. So it's basically contributing to the circular economy of the nation. So here we present the product GT Biozyme by Great Authority. We are at the early stage revenue, and we had started our revenue operations since July only. And we are very happy to share that with all the intensive research of 5 years, we have developed this product and technology, and we have done extensive trials at multiple scales in various locations in Rajasthan, and we have been successfully able to treat the facility and reduce the operational expenditure for the end user by 40 to 45%. For the stakeholders, in our case, is the textile sector, textile industries, which are dyeing and printing, because every person needs clothes to wear, whether it is handmade or printed, and they generate tons and tons of waste which is being there. So basically, there is an unmet need of the industry that they're able to decolor, but they are not able to detoxify it. And the compliances as per the Pollution Control Board and NGT has been increasing day by day. So it's a threat to the industry, but in a way it's an opportunity for us. Presently, we have a grant from MSME Government of India, and we have completed our first tranche, and they have committed us 1 CR for the next round. and for the planting machinery. And after that, there is a scheme, since we are under the umbrella of Ministry of MSME, Government of India. So they have a program of CDP, that is Cluster Development Program. So we are looking forward to that there, wherein we can have a grant or convertible equity of 16 CR. So that is good to go to have a good landing in the thing. And by that time, and we are expecting a break even of approximately in 18 to 20 months. So by the time we'll have all these things, we'll be able to stand on our own feet. Presently, we are focusing on the industrial sector because in only Rajasthan we have 90,000 MSME units. So it's a huge market sitting in one of the textile hub of the nation. So in first year, we are planning to set up all the things in Rajasthan and across, and then touching upon the various textile hubs across the nation, and then hitting the global market. Thereafter, we are planning to target the industries which are using color in any form, like cosmetics, leather, tannery, food, whichever is using color. Because basically we are mitigating, we are detoxifying the biomolecules which has been generated by these industries. So, and we have a record